Wait, what? I didn't mean to.
I've
Wait,
got gout.
No, it's still intro time. Wait, intro video. Holy shit, I didn't click the loop by accident. Here we go.
Boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog.
Boogie hedgehog.
What you gotta do?
Boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog.
Boogie.
Hello and welcome to
You're
Creative
just
Block.
jumping to another holiday, Jake. You just can't get enough.
Yeah, Halloween
You're
is
skipping
over.
one too.
Halloween-
You skipped.
What's the
Thanksgiving.
one I'm skipping? What's the one I'm skipping?
Oh, it's not even for the Brits. You don't even know. I'm
You
not
know,
gonna tell you.
which holiday would you possibly be talking about, Noel?
Only the most important one, where we like kicked your ass and then killed some turkeys or something like that.
What's Thanksgiving?
Mhm.
That's the one we celebrate over here.
What?
Yeah, Halloween's done with, so fuck this stupid, inaccurate spider skeleton, and it's Christmas time. Oh, you got a hat too.
I do. I ran to my
Well,
closet and dug it out
fine.
as soon as I saw that you're wearing one.
Amazing.
You know what? I probably should now because I kind of agree. We should add. Thanksgiving is an important American holiday. So disclaimer here, we should be mindful of Thanksgiving, but in the spirit of the general season, here's my hat.
The general 3 months of winter.
It kind of is like just 3 months of winter and holidays and shit. So there you go.
Guess who isn't here? That's right. We actually started on time for once. How about that? I'm trying to
Good
make
job.
up for- I am still slightly sick. Some people in the chat have definitely recognized that we weren't here last week, and it was completely, entirely not my fault because I didn't choose to get sick. I mean, it wasn't on purpose, right?
It's
It
those
is
damn
mostly not your
bacteria.
fault.
They got into your system.
Yep.
Caused ruckus.
Someone invaded my system with bacteria, and they shall pay the price. Let's say hello to some people who were here. Guess what? Haldir was here like straight away. He says hello. Wonder if he's still here. Some person was pointing out my spelling mistakes on the poll. There is a poll, and it does hint towards today's epic topic.
What's the poll?
The poll is he going to talk about story structure in cartoons again? And the options are, oh, you know it, or please God, not again.
Well, it clearly is please God not again because that's all Jake talks about, guys.
It's great. It's great.
No,
What
it's
else would you
great.
even
It's a great
talk about?
topic. Let's go. I
Yeah.
know. It's perfect.
Nah, we'll wait
It's
until
not, it's
Phil
not
gets here.
criticism. All right. Chill.
We'll wait until Phil gets here. Moromi says, welcome, Moromi. I thought the poll was if you were going to call in sick. Listen, would I do that 2 weeks in a row? You all remember the time where I was in insurmountable foot pain thanks to the whole gout and stuff.
Gout.
Yeah, and I still managed to
Technically.
do a show.
Yeah, you did tough that out, and you don't have to do that again. We know you're dedicated, and also I just want to say there is a poll. Technically, the poll is me. Hi.
Wait, what?
Bad puns. I'm sorry. I'm so
Oh,
sorry. I
wait,
need
because you're
more wine.
Polish. You make so many
Let's
Asian
drink.
jokes, we forget the Polish jokes.
Yay! Drinking time!
We should constantly criticize Irene's intelligence instead of other things.
What?
Dongo Solo calls you a gout faker.
wait. Where's that?
Don't
What's that? It's like stolen honor, but for gout.
Yeah, prove it. Prove you're in insurmountable amounts of pain, you fuck. I bet it's a load of fake bollocks.
Look at this fucking
yeah.
contraption. I've got this like magical wine bottle opener that you don't even need to twist it. You just press it down and it opens it for you. I love
So
it.
that's your replacement for like
Wow.
a man.
Yeah, pretty much. I have many replacements for men. That's what
Men who've
tools are
created-
for.
Men have created many magical tools to replace themselves. They're like, I don't really want to
So,
do this.
We're tired of doing shit for women. Just open your own fucking bottles. But no, for real, this is a gift from a fan. So thank you very much.
I like how you still haven't managed to get it to work yet.
It kind of worked.
Did you hit
Not
oil?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, I think you did it in reverse. Or did you push
Yeah,
it down into the bottle?
Aren't you supposed to?
No, when
Did you
you
actually-
when you do this, it's supposed to screw it in on it. Haha.
But is the screw actually? Is the screw actually?
didn't.
She just pushed the cork into the fucking bottle.
I did it right though, because I did it just yesterday.
But it's not spinning.
When there is a cork there, it's supposed to spin. It's
I still can show you how to use that tool, maybe.
the cork wasn't secure enough. I literally just opened another bottle with it the other day. It's technically open now. So, happy Thanksgiving! Yay!
Happy Spanksgiving, anyway.
I'm such a fucking failure.
FKA322 says, hey, we need 2 episodes this week to make up for last week. Well,
Fuck my life.
would you believe it? Today's slideshow is actually 25 fucking slides long. So it is technically like having 2 shows. It's that much. There's that much bullshit about the same topic. But yeah, hopefully that'll be good. The topic today is called like what? The next big thing? I wonder what that's going to mean. I wonder if that's actually going to be interesting or if it's going to be, typical Jake shit. But yeah, Michael Rushbrook says the next big thing, Jake's coloring skills. I don't know what you're talking about.
What? They coloring skills.
Me coloring. Caleb's here. Chris is comics says today's topic hentai. I don't know if that would work.
No, that's my channel. That's my channel. All right, you're getting all
Is
us
that-
mixed up.
Is that gonna? Here we go. Story structure hentai. Here's the story structure. Introduce characters, make them fuck, and then like aftermath of like the repercussions.
There's one hentai that's famous for actually having a good story, supposedly.
Just
but
one.
I forget what it's called.
It's like,
It's called-
wow, it's a fucking miracle. This one hentai has a good story.
Yeah, it's called like Urin Jitsu or something like that.
I don't
You're
know.
in jitsu.
Urin Jitsu, yeah. Chat knows what I'm talking about. Chat, you know.
Surprisingly and disappointingly for some people, I actually have. I literally have watched almost no hentai, so I have no idea.
Watched. I think you read it.
Unfortunately, no. I also haven't read.
Uh,
Only time was my friend did show me. What the fuck was that called? Revenge of Healer or whatever.
Oh, redo of
And,
Healer.
Redo of Healer. That's
You-
right.
You
So-
still can't get that in English. You can get it in German, but you can't get it in English. And like, I'm
of
not
course, they get
reading.
German. Germans are fucking weirdos as well.
We would sketch video of Healer in our language, but all of you Englanders, you get nothing.
Great German impression.
Yippee Vippy. Jake did it. Is this Jake's fault? He left us in the dark too. Yeah, I felt kind of bad about that. But like, I was deathly ill. I'm still kind of ill, but it's just coughing and stuff, so should be fine. Anyway, seeing as Phil isn't here, what are you looking at, Irene? Yeah.
Huh? I'm reading chat. I'm reading chat.
Knocked my
Continue.
problem. no. Crystal knocked my problem. Oh, I think the Bogans have raided. So thank you. Look,
Bogans,
Hello.
Bancroft, what's up?
Hi,
no,
Bogan
looks more like a
Raid.
17th century woodsman. Yeah, were you combing your beard with like masking tape?
With
Normal's like this amazing combination of woodsman and artist.
it's
Man.
a soapstone.
50-50, perfectly
My-
balanced.
I can never get the mustache part that big because I always chew on it when it gets too long.
I know you got to get through, like, you got to power through the phase where it gets in everything you eat and everything you drink. So I was carrying like And you got to dab after every sip of like coffee. Or
Oh,
anything.
you've got, it's like you're doing like the old man napkin thing after you eating soup. You tap your face with a little napkin.
Yeah, you got to start doing that. But then it gets long enough that you can kind of train it around the sides, and then it doesn't quite.
You start listening to alternate music and twizzling your beard and wearing like band t-shirts that are really obscure and stuff.
No. I kind of, my hair grows long when I get lazy, and then I'll get a burst of inspiration and I'll get a haircut.
I've never seen you with long hair.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
either. When have you had long hair?
Well,
I'm
I'm
just
just, you
imagining
know-
Narwhal in like dreads and woodsman plaid and a giant beard, looking like hippie as fuck.
Yeah,
it's not,
Irene
it's not even
loves
that
long
long,
hair.
you know, but it's just longer right now.
I kind of do actually.
What do you think? What do you think if you grew the hair out long? Yay or nay?
I could get a man bun if I like got it just right.
You know, I gotta say the whole like man bun and beard look. I know it's hipstery as fuck, but I kind of like it as long as it's not like some skinny ass soy boy wearing that style. I
Yeah.
am completely
Okay.
fine with that.
Time to tie up my hair in a man bun. Let's both gotta start tying our hair up in a man bun.
No.
I guess I got a hat
Not an
on.
instruction. You know, do whatever you please.
There was a time on a draw stream that you did, your Irene, where I said like, "So do you like Viking braids in hair then?" And you were like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." And then I started braiding my hair on the stream straight away and kept on looking at the camera. No, the
I'm
bit
sorry,
never.
Jake. I didn't even notice.
No, I did. I did the whole
Classic.
thing. But because my hair is so smooth and straight, it doesn't hold in, and I had nothing to hold it in, so it just kept on undoing itself.
Were
But-
you also doing the California braid? You weren't doing the whole braid, and you have to like tie it back and all that stuff. Or whatever.
What?
Or a
What?
beard braid, but you have to have like a really long braid to do the beard braids.
Oh, you meant
Beard
beard
braids are
braids?
cool.
I meant like normal hair. Oh, I guess I did the exact wrong thing. Harry Beam says, "Where is a young Phil Diaz?" I don't know. Maybe he didn't expect us to actually start on time. We are now 15 minutes in.
We literally haven't had any messages from him, so we don't know what's going on. I hope he's all right. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
he said BRT
Oh,
OMW sorry.
I guess I have to just drink this whole fucking bottle now. So here
You're
we
on the
go.
line already. She took
Huh?
a
Yeah,
break
because you can't recork it or whatever.
because you destroyed the fucking. Is that cork in the bottle? Is that what you did?
Yes! I swear, it's just. Of course, I had to do this live on stream, okay? Because I have used this bottle opener like 5 or 6 times. It's been completely fine, but this one fucking cork, it must have been loose or something. Like the minute it giggity, the minute it screwed in, it just didn't work, and it just all fucked up and imploded.
Irene, you need like a chopstick to like push it down. While
Yeah,
not
do
even
you
hard.
have any of those? Who would expect you
Yeah.
to have any chopsticks? Nobody.
I have chopsticks. No, don't worry.
Really?
About that. I have.
Why? You of all people would have chopsticks.
Yeah,
It's a
like
complete
that.
mystery.
Thank you for the demonstration, Narwhal. Oh my god, I hate this.
You mansplaining chopsticking broken cork out of a bottle using her nationality's tools of the trade.
How dare you? Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I was looking forward to this wine. I'll figure it out.
See, you can't replace men with tools anyway. Even if we make the tool, you don't know how to use the tool.
How would a man have been able to? You know, the problem here was that the
You would have
cork
looked
wasn't
at it.
secure. The cork wasn't secure. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that the actual problem was that this bottle wasn't corked by a man,
No,
but it was either
no.
some soy boy or a woman who didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
As
and
soon
that's
as you
why the
started
cork was
using the
so
tool,
weak.
as
So-
soon as you
that's
started
gotta
using
that's gotta
the tool,
explain it.
as soon as you started using
mean-
the tool, a man pointed out that it wasn't functioning properly. The corks, I noticed from all the way over here that the corkscrew wasn't actually corkscrewing, and then you proceeded to still push it into the bottle. Oh my god! Finally, was saved. And guess what? I actually have a video, an introduction video for Phil. So I'm glad you're late, Philly D. Here's your video.
1, 2, 3,
Classy.
So,
Dudley. Oh. Check the pants. Man, I'm pretty.
Whoa,
Nice.
Mom.
Look, Phil, I race swapped Johnny Bravo and changed his hair color, so we
I love it.
Okay,
Thank you so
hold
much.
on.
Sorry I'm
I need
late.
to-
That's
It's
all right.
fine. We forgive you. Not really. The problem was that the cork wasn't. If there's actually enough resistance, it will corkscrew. You see, but there wasn't
Yeah.
enough resistance. So.
oh, it was a loose cork. It was a loose
The
cork.
tool is fine. I just tested it. Anyways, Phil, I just made a giant mess trying to uncork a wine bottle because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So that's nice. I now have a cork in a bottle.
Do you ever,
She's already trying to get drunk.
Irene, do you ever, after you take the cork out, do you ever suck the cork to get the flavor?
Oh, the
Bottle?
corky flavor. Sometimes that can be good. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah,
That's what
Sometimes?
people in Italy. People in Italy love to suck cork.
We're from Italy. We
Yeah.
just
Go suck a
That-
cork.
That's where you learned that from, Phil.
Yeah.
Hey, go
You went
suck
to
a
Italy
cork.
and learned how to suck a cork real good. Is that what you
Yeah,
Hey,
came
well,
go
back?
touch grass.
At
Go
the, what do they
suck
call them,
cork.
vineyards? At the
I
wine vineyards,
realize.
they have special cork suckers that suck the cork before
What?
bottling.
Did
You one of
apply
them
for a
cork
job?
suckers I hear tell about?
Yeah.
We don't like your
Cork-
kind around here.
Sucking the corks before they go in the bottle? What is this? There's like stepping on the grapes with feet?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Man,
yeah,
that
makes no
grape
sense.
squasher.
Filthy
That makes
fucking
no
There's
sense.
cork
Italians.
suckers,
Yeah,
grape
it says-
squashers.
I can see doing that after the cork has been in the wine for a while, but
Yeah, you got to
No,
pre-suck the
I-
cork.
yeah.
Pre-suck it, yeah.
That doesn't make any. What, just to make sure the cork doesn't taste like ass, in case it goes in the fucking bottle like mine?
Right.
Here's what you should do, Irene. Now you got to hold your bottle up, take like a butter knife, and just go whoosh, and like try and break the top off without spilling any wine.
I'm gonna not do that. You know what would be a smart?
Get
No, I
glass
actually
everywhere.
do know how to break glass. What you do is you have to cool it first, like in the freezer, and then you tie a hot iron around it, and then it'll break really clean.
She watched
Oh, nice.
she watched the TikTok where someone got some like string and burnt the string around the glass bottle and then like chopped
No,
it.
you use a fucking wire. Not. I don't actually know.
You know, speaking of glass and like heating and stuff, I had a candle recently that I made with the remnants of like 3 other dead candles. It was like one of those scented ones, and I like melted them all and put them together and put my own like fucking wick in it. Anyway, I was like, I'm getting the most out of this candle possible. and I'm like, I'm not skimping on no candle. And there's a point when you have one of those big candles where it's right at the end where like the carbon will keep the flame going, but if you extinguish it, you can't relight it. But the flame will keep going, and there's like plenty of wax left. So I'm like, I'll just leave the candle going. So this candle was on its last legs, literally burning for like 48 hours. Like I would go asleep. It'll be like right by my bed. Just put your lips around the bottle and suck the cork out.
Well, where's the cork? It broke off?
She
No,
pushed it.
What
it's
you
into the
did.
literally
bottle.
inside. It's floating inside. It's, look at this piece of shit. Look at this little piece of shit. Who the fuck corked this bottle? Fuck you.
Wait,
I've never
you,
seen that
you
before.
do
Fuck
understand.
you,
that
you
the-
stupid fucking skills.
Irene, do you understand the physics of like the hole in the bottle is only big enough to contain the cork? There is no way you're possibly going to be able to put the chopsticks around the cork in order
Jake,
to pull it out
Jake,
again.
no, stupid. Okay, so what I was doing was pushing the cork all the way in because it was stuck right here. So that's what I used
Oh.
the chopsticks to do. So now I can actually pour
Now you
it
can
because
pour
it
it.
was stuck.
I
Yeah.
think
See,
it's
that's
gonna
smart
get out.
thinking. They'd hire
That's
you
all.
to Google for
I
that.
just need my wine, okay? I have a
That's the-
issue. I have problems.
I need my
That's the
wine.
test. That's the test they give everyone to work at NASA. They make you try and figure out how to pour wine out.
I
of it.
passed.
You passed the NASA wine test. But yeah, so with the candle, it was like full of like burnt bits of paper that I'd used to like try and light sometimes because like you can't get the lighter in. So I'm like, I'll light a bit of paper, like a receipt. And then like you still don't light it because anyway, 48 hours later, I walk into my room and the candle is literally a fucking inferno with like a flame coming out of it and billowing black smoke. Turns out the same principle as the wicks carbon holding the flame meant that all the bits of paper became like new wicks, and then like it was just a furnace on my bedside table, and it like burnt.
Good job. Did you guys used to play with candles as a kid? Like make like I would like carve candles into little figurines, but did you guys
know
do the
they-
whole like drip
The
it into
child
water
labor
and
over there
make-
was very weird.
right? Yeah, but drip candles like we'll drip the wax into a dish of water and make patterns and stuff. That was a lot.
No.
Never
No.
did that.
Okay,
That sounds-
did- I did
It's
put one of
easy.
my Thomas the
It's
Tank
fine.
Engine trains on top of my lamp, and then woke up to my mum shouting at me because like it had melted in half, and each side of it had gone like down each side of the bulb.
Oh,
You started a lot of fires when you were a kid, huh?
Yeah, I was really into fire as a kid.
I'm actually amazed I didn't set my house on fire because I play with candles all the time. Here's a cool candle that it's of course
Did
it's
you-
it's black and
That's
black,
pretty
but
cool.
it's
Do you like summon a demon when you light that candle?
probably
That seems.
Did you
similar.
ever do
cork,
the
it's a
thing?
cork demon that sabotages all my wine bottles.
Speaking of stupid shit you did as a kid, did you ever get like toilet paper and get it wet and then like throw it at the ceiling?
Um,
No,
then it would- You never did that, and
No.
then it would dry on the ceiling.
similar. Well,
No.
that's like spitballs, right? Do that with
Chris is-
spitballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
You guys are
That
weird.
sounds
What
like
did
a,
you-
That sounds
what
like
did
a
I
boy
do?
thing.
No,
This is
parents were
disgusting.
so pissed off at me. I would just get toilet and wet it, and then like go ha ha ha, whoomph, and then it would stay up there, and then it would dry, and you just have like dried, splattered toilet paper all over the roof
God
of the
damn.
bathroom.
Oh my god, no! Because I would have gotten belted, Jake.
Yeah.
Well, I did get told off and probably grounded, but I didn't get belted. The belting
Wow.
wasn't really a thing. I think I only got smacked like a
Okay.
couple of times in my life.
Yeah, they didn't
but I-
have belts back then, right, Jake?
no.
They didn't have belts in England. You're too
I'm
poor.
old
You just
now.
wore strings.
Yeah, I did get picked up by the scruff of my neck and pushed against a wall, but
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Jake grew
Let me-
up in an institution. Yeah, the people who were the care workers would always push me up against the wall.
Oh my god.
Society.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Jake, let me show you something real fast. Can you share my screen?
Yes.
This is just a good tweet I saw. It says, the world is sometimes a truly magical place. And it's this flyer. Come watch me eat an entire rotisserie chicken. November 6th will be the 40th consecutive day that I've eaten an entire rotisserie chicken. 12 o'clock noon. Chicken will be consumed on the abandoned pier near Walmart. This is not a party. Then you go, and it's like a huge crowd. And then it's just the
Oh.
guy with the table eating his
he
chicken.
got a table.
Wow.
With the red carpet, he has a red carpet rolled up. Is he shirtless?
No, he's wearing like a tank top.
Yeah, like a white.
No,
white
but wait,
beater.
this would be better if he was shirtless or
Look at-
in his underwear and just
Oh.
had this red carpet
The
and
old
this
lady
like
there.
really nice.
Yeah, look at the
dining
two old
table.
ladies filming him. Oh,
I
This
love
shit
that.
crazy. We gotta film him. Yes, you crazy motherfucker.
Why did you pull out your Southern Atlanta accent?
I don't know. I just had to do an American woman accent, older woman accent.
I just had a
Oh, great.
realization. You guys are some of you may think you're weebs, right? So you guys know what Naruto is, right?
Is
I
that
think so.
is that a
I
weeb
guess
thing?
the weebs would know that, but I certainly don't. I'm not.
Yeah,
one
what's
of them.
that?
If you haven't read Naruto, everybody knows what the Naruto run is, correct?
Not
Yeah.
at all. What's that? You should
So-
demonstrate for us.
Blorthog in a Hollow Fist, his run animation is the Naruto run. He
Perfect.
just has his
So-
hands up.
I just realized by looking at my shirt that they just ripped off Jack Kirby drawing Big Barda. Look at this. She's totally Naruto running.
Okay, those arms are back. Does the Naruto run arms go that far back, or are they like Sonic the Hedgehog style, just like out like this? Like they're really far back. Like I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can get them that
The
far back.
Naruto arms like just flat behind them, and like it makes no sense. Like you cannot physically run like that. It looks
Barda's doing it.
Yeah, you can physically run like that. Just
no.
know.
You would actually probably fall over because you don't have balance.
You telling me you've never been able to Naruto run on a beach against the wind?
I never tried because I don't. I'm not
You're not
an embarrassment to my entire heritage and society, Jake.
The wind catches you. If you're running into a very strong wind, you can lean way more forward than you usually would. You can get the
so many
whole
jokes
thing
I
on
can
a-
make right now.
Wait, what? Wind jokes? If you
Never mind. Never mind. I
Merry
guess
Christmas, by the way,
You tried
Phil.
that.
Yeah.
Running into some wind. I'm trying to think, like, what? Someone stands there and farts a lot, and I Naruto run into their ass or something. I'm trying to put together. The whole
Michael
you
Bay
cork
Chicks
snuffer.
don't run.
Yeah.
Chicks don't run.
that's such a good
Yes.
freaking insult, you filthy cork sucker.
Phil's bringing back the Invisible Man sunglasses. By the way, nice job.
I like them.
This sloth.
Oh, you're right. Those do. Yeah, those are nice. I can't believe that came with some Halloween
sloth
store
Brittany
costumes.
Venti glasses.
Yeah, I love them.
Have you been wearing them out and about?
Oh,
I
no.
did one time. My brother made fun of me, so I haven't since.
What, did he call you Sid the Sloth?
No, he just said they looked gay.
Oh, I
Don't
They're
listen
growing
to
on
him.
me.
You
Yeah, they
do
look
what
kinda
you
cool.
want.
like that very common stereotype of gay people have really far apart eyes.
Yeah.
I'm rather confused over why that's gay. I mean, it
Everything's
looks
gay.
a little weird, but you know,
If you put a
we
H in
accept
it.
you. It looks like you have 4 eyes, because that's why
I
you
do.
need all those.
Oh
lenses.
shit! Yeah, because he's got side ones.
Yeah, you got
Are
eyes
they
on
the
the sides of your
wait,
head.
are they the backups? Can you like flip them in? Like if the first ones break, you just flip the side
No,
ones in.
no, they're just on the arms.
Oh,
That's weird.
that's
Part of the
gay.
arm. It's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe there's a character like who's got 4 eyes and he has to wear these glasses because of it.
Johnny Four Eyes.
Yeah.
A spider.
4 eyes.
We'll make them. Maybe that's the next big thing.
You mean this? The next big thing? The presentation?
Not
The
this
topic of
big
today?
thing! Wow!
Yeah, we currently have 35 people watching. You're wonderful. You're amazing. I know there's other streams, but like this is obviously the best one. And yeah, we've got a vote going on that hints towards what this topic is all about. The vote with 39 votes and only 21 likes. You guys, what's going on? But yeah,
Hit
is
the
it
like button, everyone. Come on.
Yeah, and
Come
finger
on.
the
You know you like this show.
finger the bell. Is he going to talk about story structure in cartoons again? 59% saying, "Oh, you know it." So 59% are into this, and 41% saying, "Please God, not again." Well, God has not heard your calls, but yeah, get ready to learn everything you need to create the next big thing. It's definitely going to be absolutely everything. It's not actually going to be everything. Don't worry.
I'd better be.
But look, we got a whole new look.
$200,000 campaign after I learn this. Are you charging people for this stream?
Yeah, I'm charging Alex $2.
Now that's money.
So yeah, there you go. He paid his fee. Jake spent 2 weeks on this Go Hard on It panel. It does have pretty much 2 weeks worth of slides. It does have
My first
Making up
critique,
for it.
Jake, reused art. What are you, AI?
I was actually going to say that's kind of cool that he had the show characters incorporated, but you know what? Now the novel has seen through your low effort presentation.
Listen, low effort. I tilted the text. This whole new genius thing, like it's like the normal slideshow, but it's like tilted. And as soon as I did that, I was like, wow, it's like a whole new world opening up.
I'll give you that. That is a good little innovation.
That sounds like a lot of bullshit.
Well, there's plenty more bullshit to go, including reused art. You may see these images multiple times during the course of the presentation. But yeah, what the friggity fraggity fruck is this presentation all about? And like, so here's the thing. I don't know if it's really going to be that useful to us. Because you know how we're doing comics and we're doing basically long serial, like a longer story. Like we always talk about arcs all the time, and we kind of like want to make long stories that have arcs. This presentation is literally about episodic content where you can set up a world and then get, you don't even know what the stories are going to be yet. It's all about like setting up a world and getting the audience, creating things to get the audience excited when you don't even know what all the stories are yet.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's like everything we don't
that's-
do.
That's
Yeah.
important. Well, I think even to an extent with what we do, because I think it depends, because I think Narwhal does more shorter stories and more than the rest of us. And I think the rest of us do mid-form to long-form stories. But even if you're doing a long-form story, at least from my experience, you can't plan everything. Like, you can plan a lot, and I plan a lot. There's no way you can know everything. So there is a certain amount of, you need to have a good presentation and know the important parts to present and get right from the start. And then there are certain things like, what do you need to know at the beginning to make this sell? And then what can you leave for later? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are different things.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way you can 100% figure out everything. That's just the truth.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, what you're talking about there is like pre-writing like a bit of an outline for your long arc. I don't think, have any of us tried to do this kind of thing where you've
No.
thought of characters in a world and you can set it off and do whatever?
You know what's a little bit like this is Pete Sametti's King Cryptid.
King
It's like a
Cryptid,
little-
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like a sitcom. Once you have the ingredients, you can tell infinite stories.
Yep. Like this is what I've tried to do with this, is try to pick apart like some elements that someone I couldn't do it all. Like, I literally have I got to 25 slides and I was like, I need to stop. And like, hopefully the stuff will be useful. Like, Phil, have you ever tried to do this kind of thing with all of the myriad of IPs that you have, or have you still done like arc stuff?
Well, I'm kind of in the midst of it. I'm working on my Western right now, and it's very much its own like secluded world. So I think the more thought out the world is, the more you could do stuff like that, where you can kind of like plug in and play scenarios. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good job that the world segment is only 2 out of the 25 slides for this. Hopefully we can expound.
My God, 25 slides. Holy shit.
It's okay, we can get through them really quick.
I think
Oh
like
my God.
I think eventually, Irene, you could do this because your world is so thought out. Like,
Yep.
if you have side characters, say like in a few years, if you just come up with, you know, something that we may not know of yet, or a character, you could definitely explore stuff like this.
Let's do it for
I
her.
definitely thought of that, yeah.
During this, let's like make up a thing that she has to do based on the rules. But
Sure, yeah.
Well, I
Write
mean,
my
it's like-
story for me. See how that goes.
the cool thing, like you have stuff like The Simpsons Futurama on here, like that's what they've been doing for the last 30 years. Is that they're just plugging in either mythology, pop culture, old literature scenarios into these worlds, and those are probably the Simpsons Futurama. Those are the most prominent ones that are related to that. But people have been doing that forever. Like if you look at Frankenstein, it's inspired by the story of Prometheus, right? Which is old mythology stuff. You see that everywhere, reflections of older works of fiction.
Yeah, like before I started trying to actually learn to write properly, this is the kind of thing I would do. I would actually make this stuff up, and then I'd be like, yeah, but what do they do? I wouldn't be able to think of the stories.
Yeah.
And then it would end up being like a mess. But yeah, I had the elements there. But yeah, so is everyone ready? Is everyone ready for the best slide?
Yes.
Remember this, motherfucker!
Oh.
I don't remember.
I like the custom graphics. Well done.
Yeah. So
Did you have to add the soy boys though? Was that really necessary? The two Mark Wade's framing.
Just gonna move on.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like so cool. Like, look, it's like meme guys and stuff. That's like funny internet humor, right? Like people like this kind of thing, like the meme guys.
So this
Anyway.
is like the penis circle method of writing.
Yeah, this is the circle
what you
jerk
guys know.
method.
It's no longer the hero's journey; it's the penis circle.
It's the hero circle jerk.
Fantastic. Shall we review this once again, just real quick? So this is Please ignoring the graphics. This is the hero's journey for people who don't. Did we actually do an episode on the hero's journey? I
It
feel
was
like
a
there's
really
so
early
much.
one.
There's
It was
so
a
many
really early one.
resources out there. Okay. Oh, that it's almost one of those things where it's pointless
we
to talk
touched on
about. But okay. But this is sort of basic story structure, especially if you're doing obviously heroic storytelling.
I think
Star
it's like
Wars,
Hiroshima.
Harry Potter, what the fuck? Okay, shut up. I didn't say that. And most franchises that are a lot of franchises that are about a heroic journey, like someone going on a quest to accomplish something, they follow this kind of story structure, like leaving the comfort zone, going on a quest, and then defeating the enemy, and then coming back to the origin point with what's in story terms called the elixir, with new growth and all that stuff. That's a hero's journey. Okay, the end. Let's move on.
And
Jake,
I
did you
drew.
draw these guys?
No, wait, the guys on the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, it took me like several hours to get them just right.
I love that guy's hand.
You know what they are, right? Phil?
Good gesture. I've seen that Twitter account. It's called Origins of Iconic Images, and I think it's the original photo that I saw. It made me laugh. It was like
But yeah,
they're pointing at like a donut shop or something. They're
No,
like, yeah.
they're pointing at like meatless chicken. They're literally pointing at like soy made meat stuff, like chicken wings. Like it's like non-chicken chicken, and they're like, what the fuck? Can you believe
They're so
this shit?
stoked.
But yeah, I've lovingly put all the stages of the there's like a big slasher along the middle, and you've got known and unknown. That's going to be relevant for like the first covering because it's the simplest version, and I think that can apply to characters and world. Well, obviously it's world because you go to the unknown, whatever. But yeah, I kind of like wanted to see if I could pick out elements of this and turn them into like find how they're represented more commonly and whatever. But yeah. So you got your home comfort at the beginning, and an interruption. In order to solve the interruptions problem, you go into a new world, face challenges. You finally get what you want at the end after adapting. Then, in getting it, you realize what the truth actually was, which is kind of like a paying the price thing, and you basically learn a bunch of the secrets. And you come home, and you like reflect on it. And when you get home, you even sometimes there's like. You get to use the secret knowledge, like when Neo's at the end and he like makes all the bullets freeze. He's like, "Ah, I'm using my special powers now." But
Yeah, and Lord of the Rings has this in. It's kind of that secret knowledge is a little bit applied a bit in Iscarian Shire and the lessons learned on the Hobbit's journey. But important to note as well is it's sort of like you can. I like to sum up the hero's journey as this is how you learn a lesson in real life, and I think that's why people resonated with it so much.
Yep.
You set out, you're presented with a problem, you try to resist having to solve the problem, but then you're forced to solve the problem. You set out on a quest. There's supposed to be a failure. That's the end of Arc 2. The hero has to fail, but not like completely. It's like it's a horrible defeat, but they have another chance, and then they come back. They reform themselves, they realize what they've been doing wrong, they face the enemy again, and then they defeat the enemy, they get this valuable knowledge, they're changed, it's almost like becoming a man or whatever, and they go home.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in an episodic series, you basically do that, and then like the character's supposed to be upgraded a tiny bit, and then it goes like round and 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 round like a giant.
Right. You have to
Fucking
start
swing.
exactly where we left off.
Yeah, a part of that too is like you can't have the main character constantly learning the lessons because at a certain point they're like wishy-washy. Like if it was Batman in the Batman episode series, it's like he's kind of soy if he's like always changing his mind, always learning stuff.
Right.
It's more badass if he's like, dude, I know. I fucking lived life and I know. But then it's you give it to the secondary character that he meets and they kind of get the arc. He'll kind of
Yeah.
walk into their story.
Good.
And you mentioned the reflecting at the end. I noticed that a while ago that different genres have like the denouement where they're reflecting at the end. It's any adventure story, pretty much all adventure stories do it. And then but some that don't, that's kind of funny is martial arts do not do it. And horror
Really?
movies do not do it. Like they will never have reflecting at the end. They always like martial arts. The dude like rips the bad guy's heart out and goes and then credits start
Then
rolling.
it's cuts. Yes. Okay, that's beautiful
Well-
though. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. And I was going to say a lot of superheroes, many superheroes, it's not a blanket saying like all superheroes, but a lot of them actually don't necessarily have a hero's journey. Hero's journey is, I think, more for adventure and classical sort of heroic storytelling. It doesn't even need to be fantasy or science fiction, but that does apply more to classical science fiction and fantasy. Superheroes and what you were saying, martial arts and horror stories, especially martial arts stories and superheroes, which I feel like are kind of similar. Those are flat character arcs where the character themselves have the correct morality in the story and they're not there to learn a lesson from the world. It's not 100% of the time, because obviously there are exceptions, like Spider-Man learns a hard lesson because of a mistake he made. But a lot of the time, for example, Superman and Batman, the stories are about how they have the correct morality, but they just have, the test is them holding on to it through all these trials. Right.
Yeah, so like those stories are typically action, and like I've been researching the action genre because I want to do a presentation on that. I did this instead. But like with action, the learning is like the training arc in the middle. It's like the montage, and it is all about just like proving you are right, like proving you are the best to get to the end. So yeah, it makes sense that in that particular genre there's like less of a like I defeated my demons. And now
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, superheroes are really interesting because it's also a very American genre, but the way I see most superhero stories it's about, well, holding on to your morals against all odds and against all kinds of corruption.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
it's very unique.
I saw there's another cool Twitter account I follow that's like all about chivalry in the Middle Ages. And they were saying that chivalry is described, the more you look into it, it was thought of almost like a currency, like it was a tangible thing that if you do a deed, you gain some chivalry, like honor, basically. You're gaining honor.
Oh wow.
And knights would collect it. So they would go around doing as many good deeds as they could do. And then they kind of keep track of how many good deeds they've done, how much chivalry they have, and they can kind of compare that to other knights and stuff.
Interesting. I didn't really
It's like the
think about it
karma
that way.
version of shekels.
Yeah. It's a little like karma or whatever. And like, because they say cowboys are like knights or whatever, and they're kind of chivalrous. A lot of cowboy stories are like the woman being like, I don't have any money to pay you, but I will give you my body even if you help me. And then she's like, that won't be necessary, ma'am. I will help you anyway.
Wait, I've been playing The Witcher lately, and every time there's a fucking quest where you help someone, and like, here's the money, and there's always an option that's like, don't worry about it, and I'm like, I can't not press that option. I can't not press
No,
it.
it's like the only thing that matters in the end is who you fuck anyway, so it doesn't. None of that shit matters.
I managed to fuck
true.
both Triss and the black-haired one. Whatever her name is.
Yennefer, who's the better one?
Well,
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah,
But
I'm-
neither of those bitches matter. What matters is Siri. So really, that's the only thing that.
and I don't think
actually
yeah,
is
I don't think
relevant.
he's gonna try and do that with her. But
No,
yeah, on
not.
the
Oh,
playthrough,
Jesus Christ.
on the playthrough I did whilst I was sick, I got both Triss and Yennefer. So
No.
also I didn't
Well-
know
well done.
shekels were a real thing until recently.
You didn't know shekels were real current. Oh my god.
The word was so silly. I thought that's just a made-up word for currency.
Okay.
Not the-
VY
yeah,
Tiz said. VY Tiz had an interesting comment. Manga, shonen, superheroes go through that journey. So many arcs to fill. I think part of that is from what I read about. Honestly, there's not that many shonen superhero stories besides from My Hero Academia and stuff like One Punch Man. That's a very, very recent phenomenon because of the popularity of and the internationalization. I did it of American superhero stories, but shonen in general have a lot of heroic character arcs and heroic storytelling, like the hero's journey character arcs. But I think part of that is because the standard template for shonen stories is the characters are younger and they don't know anything. These are like teenagers or young boys,
Right.
and the reader is supposed to relate to them, so they have to go out into the world and learn a lesson and become a man. Shonen is about a young character becoming a man, growing up, and facing the world and going through all these challenges. So
World,
that's
yeah.
the template for that genre. Yeah.
I think too, especially between the two markets of the manga and the US Western comics, is a lot of it is the corporate need for monthly books, right, in the West. So your characters, if you have a Batman book, Batman's not going to change because you need to put him out next month and a year from now. So they don't want these characters to change because they don't want their stories to end because it's all they have. But in the East, they're creator-owned stuff, and there is an ending to a lot of these stories, and there is an arc to it. So
Yeah.
superheroes end up being more of a force of nature, for lack of a better term, where your character is the force, and that force affects the world around it.
Yeah,
Whereas
catalyst
these
character.
manga stories are more personal stories with morality arcs of them learning and being a surrogate for the reader most times.
Yeah, it's like if the character is going to eventually require more than one writer or be enabled to be passed from
Yeah.
writer to writer,
Mhm.
then they kind of don't have as many arcs. But that's what's funny is that's when you can have hypothetically one writer ruin it for everyone else by
Yeah.
like changing him or something. But yeah.
Well, it's like in the West, they make the character that's already cool and they're already doing the badass shit. Whereas in the East, it's like they start off as just like some kid that had something bad happen, and now they've got to like go through the whole process of learning. Like the entire arc is like a training montage, but in slow motion, so it's not actually a montage.
That's really interesting because I think this reflects the markets, because in the Japanese market, it is like you said, it's a small creator team, 1 or 2 people, and these are finite, limited stories. But in America, especially what we're talking about is Big Two Comics, where the IP is owned by the company. You're supposed to cycle. You go through writers. It's one character that is owned by the company is handed to different writers. So that wouldn't really work if the character is. What do you do? Like, it's one of those problems with, I think Spider-Man is the one example I can think of that did go through a hero's journey, but there's a reason he grew up eventually. He wasn't always that teenager. He could only learn that lesson so many times, right? He went through that trauma with Uncle Ben and with Gwen Stacy, and then like, is it just going to keep on happening over and over again? I think realistically speaking, it wouldn't. Moromi had a very interesting comment where he said the hero's journey could be more like a spiral where you learn lessons over and over again. But at a certain point, I think there's a limit to that. That's true. You can have a character repeatedly go through a hero's journey, but at a certain point, you water down the character because the character needs to solidify their morals at a certain point, right? So if it's just we're always learning a lesson over and changing their minds, then it can't be infinite. So a character that's been running for 80 years, like Superman, that wouldn't work.
Right.
So even though we're talking about characters, I have no idea how to segue the actual topic from this conversation about characters because it's like completely different. So like basically when you think, so we've thought about like a main character in a book where it's like their book, right? Like there's not like a dynamic or a team. Well, there are team books, obviously. But yeah, this is in like episodic content. Oh God, here we go. At the core,
my boy Napoleon.
he's here with another quote, I guess, a very long quote. But yeah, it says, at the core of the initial character choice, when you're making like an episodic thing, it's more about the character dynamic. A central battle of one man's chaos. I knew where that spelling mistake was.
Mank.
Yeah, okay.
Mank.
I knew there was a fucking spelling mistake and I couldn't find it on my review, and there it is. The one man's chaos being another man's order. So this is how I kind of like got order and chaos and known and unknown with characters. You usually have like at least a duo, and they're usually contrasting to each other. Basically, this guy's chaos is this guy's order, and vice versa. And they're usually thrust along the path of the story. The interruption will come in, and then basically their 2 points of view will be the 2 alternate paths to solving it, and they'll go both like fucking bang against each other across this whole path, and then at the end the compromise is like learning that they just, some of them are right and some of them are wrong, and they kind of like have to
It's like the
out the
by the
in-between.
book character versus the wild card character.
Yep, okay, you fucking got it right. So order and chaos characters, you just picked a perfect one, the by the book and the wild card. I've got like physical prowess versus clumsy, the smarts versus the dumbs, which is the flowers for Algernon, the animated series. Hard-boiled versus softy, and hunk versus simp. Now, when I wrote this, I was like, and also it says like which like parts of the
The
Hirogen
banging chick
cycle.
conflict is my favorite.
Exactly, but you know, the hunk,
What?
he's naturally gonna get it. Like if you have the guy who gets the girl, the guy who doesn't get the girl, and there's like a conflict, they have two different approaches. Maybe the simp eventually gets it, but after writing these, I was like, this is wrong. In all of those, one is like clearly better. You got the smart and the dumb. Like what? So it's probably more like this, which is like strong body versus strong mind, turtle in the hair conflict, like obsessive intelligence versus simple wisdom, more walls versus less walls when it comes to emotions, or like intuition and like natural talent versus like effort and toil and being
Yeah.
like incredulous.
This reminds me of the original Star Trek series where they have the Doctor and Kirk and then Spock. The three of them are like this triad, and a lot of times it'll come up where they're all trying to solve the same problem, but they have three different ideas how to do it. So they're on the same side, but then they're also arguing, and that's like
Yeah.
a really great combination that works pretty well.
McBain.
Versus the police. We gotta do this by the book.
Yeah.
By book. Yeah, the trio is interesting. Like in the trio, do you feel it usually ends up into splitting into two camps whenever they're actually discussing something? Like two of them will kind of like form an alliance in a particular discussion.
Team up.
Or do you think it always can float as three?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the first thing. I'm trying to even think what it is. I think the Doctor is more by the book. Kirk is more wild card, and then Spock is kind of within them. He's the one who would be the tiebreaker, but he's always logic.
Logical.
And Spock is more or Kirk is more humanity. The Doctor is more humanity, even though he's not that human. So it's kind of ironic, but the Doctor always makes fun of Spock for not being human.
So here's the interesting thing about all those things you just said. Those are more details about the characters that get exposed when you introduce more characters to reflect against each other. Like each one of those is always exposed by just a duality pair. So like more characters, more problems. The more characters you have, the more pair contrast you can create. And so the more flaws you can expose within your characters to create particular stories out of.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
see that.
true. But there is, it's also, it gets really complicated if you have a whole lot of characters. Trust me, it gets a little
Yeah.
much.
That's why I like having that simple just duo or trio even at the beginning is a great like starting point. And even in these casts, there's a main cast, and then there's like the secondary and tertiary layers.
Yeah.
Right, you don't need
A character.
every
But
character.
that's actually kind of a fun thing that they do. I remember when The Simpsons first did it, it was with Apu when I remember, but he was always a side character. You never really gave a shit about him. And suddenly they made him the main character of one episode. And you're like, I fucking love Apu after that.
It's that entire episode was like an experiment. And how do you take one character that no one cares about and make him like the favorite, the best character?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
that's one of the tips for writing side characters is even if you don't focus on them, you should know that your story revolves around either your protagonist or your core group, your protagonist and deuteragonists. But all the side characters should be well thought out enough that if you were to tell the story from their point of view, you could do it. Like they should feel like real people, right?
Yep. And like
That's a really good tip to start out with, sort of a nakama. I guess that's the manga term, like a core group. Go off of.
That's a cool observation about like being able to go off and like if you have a normalcy, you get to follow other little rat holes of stuff in contrast to it. Like I have that with a latest slide segment. But like so keep that in mind. But shall I read this one out? Shall I read what I wrote?
Yes.
Go.
Because character interactions often boil down to subsets of the group, usually ending up in two separate camps, like, especially when you get, like, a large cast, then there'll be a war between two groups, especially if you get into, like, races of classes. More characters you have, the more contrasts are available to be expressed. So the more complex your characters can seem. Homer is a different person around Lisa compared to when he's around Bart. The more character contrasting pairs you can create, the more flaws you can expose in your characters. But yeah, okay, yeah. And I've put this in with the character stuff. Additional conflict, racism. So.
Throw in a bit of racism. That'll help everything, guys. That's the lesson Jake is teaching us today.
Well, it can add another layer because basically each character, if you start making like fantasy races out of them, they can have like a group consciousness, and those can also contrast against each other, and like they can almost get subsumed into them, and it can be interesting to see how a character lets that happen to them and how they'll change. But yeah. Each character could come from a different background / culture in order to create small rat holes of conflict and world exploration, like going to their home planet or like going into the hole they live under the ground. And wow, there's all these mushroom people under here. This is crazy. Can't believe it's the mushroom people episode. In more heightened settings, these characters could be something as diverse as human, alien, robot, ghost, time agent, talking animal. But in a less heightened world, it can be something as simple as a family seasonal tradition, like Festivus from Seinfeld. Like that ends up being a little cult, like just their family as a culture, and like it can, then it's like the contrast between that and what everyone else does, which is not Festivus. Weird corporate structural rules or age / nationality categories. Like in a lot of cartoons, they end up having like the kids, the teenagers, the adults. Like they don't have to be like alien races. They use like the old people, the scientists. Say again.
Rugrats.
Yeah, the babies and the grown-ups. But yeah, where was I? These cultural differences are just contrasting rule sets that each character holds as truths that they express on a scale of domination versus submission. And I've got like personal truth. Do you want to see the domination cultural matrix?
Is this
Yes.
going to be gross?
Do I want to? This sounds rather.
It's just,
You're gonna
it's
show
just
us
that
even if we don't
it's
want
kind
to.
of like the racism matrix, but instead it's the cultural domination matrix.
Racism matrix.
Okay.
Wait, you didn't even make this very helpful graph. That giant paragraph could have
I
been
see the
summed up
word
in just a
Nazi.
nice graph. Oh my
Oh,
god.
should I just have left out the last slide with all the nice images and just put this night? This is
Yeah,
a
it's
very.
better. I don't. I'm an artist. Reading is hard.
I tried to make my best novel idea field graph.
That's a lot of slides.
It's just as confusing as when I do it.
But along the
Okay,
top,
let's see.
you see if you can figure out. Along the top, you have dominance versus submission. So this is like dominance being like, I'm fucking right, and submission being, haha, you're right, I'm sorry. And then you have, on the other scale, direct and indirect. Direct meaning, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face, and indirect being like, well, you fucking suck, so I get, like very indirect catty shit. But yeah, so the examples are, you will buy my book is direct dominance.
Very interesting. This is a very interesting and enlightening breakdown. Well done, Jake.
Do you think it is? Do you think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the indirect one is very much how Cecil sells his books.
The indirect what? I've closed the campaign already?
He sells his books?
No, yeah. He says that a lot of people that read Cash Grab, their penises get bigger.
Wait,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
that would be the indirect. That's indirect dominance.
Yeah.
But again, as we've spoken about before on the show, humor breaks every rule. Anytime humor is in the mix or comedy is in the mix, it just is out of the equation. And what Cecil does is he uses humor. He's like, well, grow your dick, gets all the chicks to jump on you by cash grab.
No, humor it's indirect dominance. Like, what is more dominant than making someone laugh? I made a series of fucking words and it forced you to laugh. Like, it's involuntary. Like, humor is almost the most dominating
I
thing.
agree.
It's a psychological point. It's like implanting someone in their brain, like if you're good at it. Okay. The most interesting thing is the window into Jake's psyche. Listen. But look, right in the middle, in the center of direct and indirect, in the middle of dominant submission, is the very simple, non-capitalized phrase of buy whatever you want. It's your money.
How boring.
Like, who's gonna?
How boring.
That's not gonna
Alright.
open anyone's fucking wallet.
We need to be more
Exactly.
forceful. We need to be more forceful.
Yeah, you
Buy
need
our
to.
books, guys, is what we're trying to say.
That's right.
Oh,
Back Phoenix 2.5 right now, everybody. PhoenixComment.com. There you go.
And
Dominant.
we've been out of
I
the
don't-
country for 2 months.
I don't have it pulled up. I
Yeah,
know.
It's been
Or eBay pulled up,
2.5 months. It's been forever. I need this money. Back this book. It's going to. It'll definitely make your penis bigger. Thank you.
What if it's too
We'll
late
make
already?
sure. We'll come to your house with the pump ourselves. I know how to operate the pump.
Jake will come to your
No.
house. He's
Truly,
volunteering
people
himself.
are refunding as
Yeah.
No.
Even if you don't have a penis, I'll make it bigger.
Oh my god. This
I'll
is
give
a
you one.
dire mistake on my
will
part.
give
What
you
have I
one.
gotten myself into?
You started it. You just gave me the platform, and I just went. Oh, wait, trying to say Phil.
Complete mistake. I regret everything.
Real quick, this is kind of random, but I was brainstorming a little bit with some hotel story stuff with Jared, and we're beefing up some of the character development of the ensemble. So even if it's not in the book, we were like, well, why are they even on vacation? Why are they at the hotel? And so we were talking about Gary, who's kind of the ultimate sad sack, and we're like, yeah, he used to be in the force. He's like a retired police officer, but he accidentally started a race riot. And when he shot a black guy in the butt.
How do you accidentally? I accidentally on purpose.
I mean,
almost.
nowadays you can't
Probably.
it would probably
He was
happen.
he was like reloading his gun and an errant bullet flied because he's bad at gun safety. It shot
Okay.
a basketball player in the butt. He was okay, but then the riots were still pretty crazy.
So that
then he had to
Okay,
go
I
to
mean
the-
that is just being bad at guns is a good enough reason to be.
Did you just look
fired.
at Did you just look at the news and went shooting activists that stop roadblocks? I'm gonna use that in the hotel story.
No, I
No?
saw that though. That's kind of funny. People were pointing out that that's like, what's it called? Stepping down or whatever, falling down. Have you guys seen that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, how is it related to that film then?
I mean, there's a movie like with that plot, and at the end, he goes death by cop. He pulls a squirt gun on Robert Duvall, and Robert Duvall blows him away, and then he goes, gotcha, because he got some water on Robert Duvall's head.
Ah! That's a fucking cool way to die.
Well, you
That is
gotta
a
go
cool
with
way to
it.
die. I don't think the climate protesters were that cool. Did any of them die?
I think they died, yeah.
Yeah, that guy blasted those people. But so that's a weird definition of folk hero, because I saw an example once. It was in England, and it was this guy who he had built a hole because you weren't allowed to have a structure over 8 feet, but he needed a barn for some reason. So he dug a big hole in the ground so he could fit his barn and not go over 8 feet. And then his whole business was working. And somebody in England found out, and they're like, we're going to shut you down. That's cheating. And he's like, whatever. And so they came in, and there was like news cameras everywhere. And it was one guy in particular who got hired by the city to be the ultimate like asshole who's going to fuck this guy's life over for no reason. And the guy was such a piece of shit. And then the crazy farmer, he's like holding a gun, and the farmer's like, if you step across, I'm going to blast you. And then the guy's like, he's like, you're going to go to jail if you do that. And he just steps across, and the farmer, boom, blows him away. and he dies. But that guy, that farmer, he's like a folk hero. Like everyone loves him. And he murdered a dude, but like people love him. And when I saw the YouTube video, I was like, damn, I like that farmer. But it's weird.
Yeah, it's like that photo was pretty badass, but I'm like, oh no, the two of them died. I'm like, that photo was... Anyway, speaking of two people dying,
Anyway.
Order and Chaos. Whoa. And look, have you noticed that it's no longer fucking orange? I realized that you could split different sections of your goddamn things into different colors. So when we move into a different thing,
Wow!
can you believe it?
What are you talking about?
Tilting and color coding, absolute fucking genius.
I'm glad you learned how to use MS Paint.
Next slide.
Okay, Phil. Feels like we got to get through 25 of these motherfuckers. He's really dragging his feet. Oh, we're in that.
I need to appreciate. I want to appreciate how many times you have reused that drawing of Cardinal.
I drew it.
Like the
I drew
fourth
it in
time.
real.
There is no reason for that image to be there except to
Yeah,
fill
there
the
is.
space.
And there's
But you're
Napoleon.
going to, by God, you're going to milk that shit because you spent 10 minutes on it. And
I
that 10
actually
minutes
drew
worth
it on
money.
paper and
Oh my
scanned
God.
it in.
Oh
I drew it on
no!
paper.
Everybody,
$1
launch
can
it up
go.
right now! Come on!
It's on it's on my shitty paper that people never want to buy stuff off because. But yeah, MS Paint.
Oh,
You fucking
why?
kidding?
Why? Don't try it on nice paper. People will buy. Oh my! When will you learn?
That's your Well, because then there's too much pressure.
Okay. But anyways, don't make money then. I guess.
So, chaos versus order, known versus unknown when it comes to the world itself. The basis of any space or of exploration is simply the known and the unknown, where we are thrown into the unknown whenever the status quo is interrupted. In, point one. Here, we have a simple choice that decides the genre of the overall series, creating a known and an unknown that you can use over and over again. It's like a known unknown that the audience can build expectations around. Here we decide what the home or zone of comfort is and what the chaotic world outside of the characters are thrown into each time a disturbance occurs.
Interesting. I would like to hear what would that be for all of your stories or whatever you're working on now, or whatever example you want to pull up from your franchises.
Well, so
Yeah.
in it's less strong in my particular thing in Connell because he's crazy and the world's crazy, but the two different kinds of crazy, so they are at odds. But see, I'm coming at this from the episodic perspective. If I go to like the next slide, you'll see like all of these shows, they have like a normal place and a crazy place. They start at the normal place and go to the crazy place, then come back again. And that's how they get the episodic cycle. But with the things we create, we have like arcs. So if they were to leave home at the beginning of the arc and stay in the crazy place for like the whole arc and come back, like you wouldn't get that circular stuff. So it's the order and chaos, I think, in our stories is them behaving how they usually would, then that gets disturbed and they kind of have to come back to an equilibrium. Like their home is their task, which I do have slides on later. But yeah, if you're not doing this episodic cycle, you end up not really having this kind of like normalcy thing going on.
Right, it usually just changes, and then now there's a new way, there's a new order from that chaos, right?
Mm.
So you look at the Matrix, or well, actually, if you look at Alice in Wonderland, it's kind of like that, where she does go back into the normal world at the end of it.
With Alice in Wonderland, it being one story, imagine that was episodic,
Right.
and basically the real world would be her home, and then every time, like I've got an image of the fucking Jumanji cartoon there, which isn't this, but Jumanji would be similar if they did an episodic version. It's like
Right.
on the right-hand side in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
if they were in the normal world and then they would go into Jumanji and come back each time, that would be
Yeah.
like passing into the... Rini,
Well,
you
that
look
happens in Alice in
confused.
Wonderland in the novel. So through the Looking Glass and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, she goes back, and
Oh,
then,
she goes in there multiple times?
yeah, it's 2 books, I think. Yeah, so she goes back home at the end of the first one, and then she goes back into it.
Is it like a hub world? Could you call it that, like a video game concept?
like a what?
A hub world?
I don't know what that
The
is.
real world is the hub world, or the Wonderland is the hub world? Oh, you
Probably
mean
the
is
real
this
world.
idea? Yeah, no. This it kind of could be like Crash Bandicoot when you're in the level select. It is kind of almost like that, and you are jumping through portals to go to the crazy worlds, and you do constantly come back.
Right, yeah, she
That's
goes-
actually a really good example.
Rabbit hole and then the mirror. Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to. Well, Alice in Wonderland or even Wizard of Oz, which for some stupid reason, because my brain doesn't work, I always get those two mixed up. But
Mhm.
those are literally taking a character out of the normal world and taking them into fantasy world, same as
Right.
Narnia, Harry Potter. That's pretty obvious, but it can also be going on a quest and going into an unknown world or setting out to try and solve a mystery, which Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, that these kinds of stories apply
Yeah.
to.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it doesn't, for sort of a long form stories, it can apply because Lord of the Rings, it's like, imagine something that would be, for example, Archer. So this is the one that I'm most familiar with because I work on it. They have a home base, and every episode, generally speaking, they go out on a mission and they fuck up, and then they come back to the office at the end, all beat up with a bunch of sexual jokes. And so there's a home base. This is a normal world, and then the mission with the shenanigans is the unknown. That's the chaos, and that's the fantasy. So it doesn't have to literally be an alternate universe. It's just whatever represents the unknown in
Yeah.
your concept.
Well, it's like in the examples I've got like accountancy office, family home, government agency, college/learning environment. But then the craziness that contrasts to that is just like Buffy. It's got ghost schools and graveyards, or like it's a family home, but it's whimsical witches and wizards, or it's like a college and learning, but with gadgets, gizmos, and groundbreaking tech, or most Japanese stuff. Anything, but it has demons in it.
Can you tell I grew up with manga? And also in Lock and Key, because I also love Lock and Key. That is the normal world, which is the regular world of a
Right.
family home in Massachusetts that we all know about, and then the fantasy, the chaos, the unknown is the world of Key House, hidden mystery, and that is both a mystery but also literally an alternate world. If you've read the series, you know what I mean. It's really good, by the way. You should read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What more is I can think of is sometimes like cyclical stuff, like if it's the eclipse or like even nightfall. Every time night comes, if the world changes or something. So
Yeah,
the day is normal and the night is chaos or whatever.
I think that whole cycle pretty much does follow the cycle of your day, which is why it's so engaging. Like you would wake up and you'd be hungry, so you got to go out and get food. You'd like struggle to get the food, but you'd get it. You would learn something whilst getting it because it would be difficult, you know what I mean? And then you'd like have to come back again. Like I think that's why it connects. Like it's literally in us. Like it's anyway.
Well, it's right. It very much is monkey brain because it's how we live our days. Like as cavemen and cavewomen who were like, we're gonna go out and hunt some shit or gather some shit and then come back, hopefully alive. But it's also how we learn to problem solve. And at the end of the day, I think that's part of. It's not sort of a conscious goal, I think, of most stories, but I think really good stories. You know the saying of how that was weird. Jake's camera just did a weird thing. Okay,
Weird.
that was distracting. Good stories, you know how they teach people to live live multiple lives it's like you live lessons and you live different lives through the material that you read. If you lived 1,000 lives, if you read 1,000 books, you know that saying. So I think that's part of it. It's that it helps us learn how to solve problems and encounter challenges without actually having to go through all that shit in reality.
Yep. And in an episode, from the point of view of an episodic piece of short form content, like having a really stark like with our stuff where we're doing long form and arcs, it's kind of less important. If you want to like have something you can mine for 100 fucking episodes, you got to make it like broad and contrasting. Like Archer, boring office stuff, crazy spy stuff. Like Rick and Morty, boring family home drama, the entire multiverse or whatever. With like, and then I have Smiling Friends in here, and you guys might not know the show, but like they're a perfect example of all of these things. They work for a company where they just have to go and cheer people up, and they're just like two opposite normal acting people. One of them's really enthusiastic, and one of them's really kind of like slovenly and doesn't really give a shit. And then they have to go and cheer someone up, and they go out into the world, and there's always some crazy shit going on, and then they have to like come back to the office. But so there's one extra element to this, like, which is why I've got, say, Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen on here, and even Mob Psycho and Demon Hunter. So that because when they're in an arc, they're staying in the crazy for a while. They seem to always add some kind of structure to like how you're supposed to approach the crazy. Like, we are a special order, and here are the levels, and like here are the rules, and here are all like time-honored approaches to doing this that you're going to have to learn. Like, that almost seems like another way of doing order in the chaos. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
exactly if you're doing something long form. So what's interesting, and all the examples you just brought up, those are manga/anime, and I think that's where I've seen a lot of storytelling that I really like, and I try to emulate that. But so there's episodic arcs, but also there's a strong arching arc of this is the hero's journey, and you start out in the familiar, and then you spend a long time in the chaos, but within the chaos there needs to be a level up. So every episode it's about you need to get from point A to point B. What was the challenge, and what did you learn? But you're still in the chaos. You just learn to deal with the chaos better and better and better until you finally defeat the big bad. I think that's generally how I see them approaching it.
Yeah, like the normalcy they achieve is just like things are going fine now, and then an interruption will come in whilst they're still there. It's not like they're in the chaotic world, but they're not like in a state of chaos throughout the whole thing. But yeah.
Well, I just before I move on here for talking about chaos, I was watching this lecture that Jordan Peterson was giving on storytelling and specifically analyzing the Disney film Pinocchio. And he talks about chaos and how chaos is represented in timeless stories, in specifically in the Pinocchio film. When Pinocchio's on Pleasure Island, all these children are being turned into slaves, they're being turned into donkeys, and he could either stay there or and be turned enslaved, or jump into chaos, into the unknown, which is the ocean. And he jumps into some place that could maybe even worse than where he is, and he has to get through that to then overcome it and become better. Like, you have to go through an even darker area to get into the light.
Well, if you would never dare to enter chaos, you're going to end up being enslaved by your normalcy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like literal enslavement being turned into a donkey. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good way of kind of like symbolizing it.
Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really interesting.
But yeah, okay. Moving on. Look, now we're in green. Can you believe it? We've gone from orange to purple. Green.
Good job!
We're
What,
one quarter through. In 6 hours, we'll be done with Jake's.
We'll be here all
sorry.
night.
Yeah.
Is this
I love
bad? Is this bad? I don't know.
It needs
No,
title
it's
flags.
fine. You're doing great, Jay. We're just being
Yeah.
assholes.
The next big thing. This fucking presentation is the big thing.
This was it. It was all a trick.
Jake is compensating for last week, everybody.
Is it? No, I am. Someone said, what is it? They said, where is it? FKA. Hey, we need 2 episodes this week to make up for last week. Well, you fucking got it, buddy.
Got it.
And thanks again, Alex VRB, for your $2. So it's on the screen. Is it called Demon Slayer?
Yes, it is. That's what I whispered quietly to try to save you.
I always get it confused. Like, okay, I always get, my friend Tom makes fun of me because I call Guts' sword Demon Slayer, but it's Dragon something, right?
Oh,
Is it Dragon Slayer?
it's Dragon Slayer.
Well, there you go. That's where. Yeah.
Oh my god. Honestly, I
Anyway.
think it would be better if it was Dragon Bane. That's a better name, but I don't know. English is
Dragon,
hard, I guess.
Dragon's Bane.
Oh right. Yeah, you're
Yeah, so
gonna
it's
correct
Bane.
English now.
It's like a dragon. It would be the bit. The dragon wouldn't be into it. Anyway, specific elements derived from points of the journey. Literal home. See, it's like the home thing, but you make something that symbolizes the home to come back to time and again.
All right.
Wow.
This is where everything starts, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and like you basically make in order to emphasize this in an episodic way, so people kind of like know what to. You're basically building expectations, but still having an air of mystery. So you're which is what a genre is. Like people know certain things to expect from a genre, but they don't know how you're gonna make it fucking play out. Like so. Anyway, a never-ending source of conflict that can be used to go to when you have no ideas. Wait a minute. I forgot to write the thing. This is for the next one. Shit. Oh, okay.
What have you done?
The source of conflict being like you put all the characters there and they bang against each other, and then usually a problem will come out.
They bang.
Yeah, everyone bangs in the
house.
status quo house. Yeah, got like Simpsons house, Connell's treehouse. See, like you gotta give him a home. Rick and Morty house.
Donkey Kong has a tree house. They
The
steal his bananas.
expansion, Xavier's School for the Gifted.
Yep.
Yeah.
The shit tons of them. Even though it'll tie into something else later, even like the ship from Star Trek is the house they all live in. And I think the most iconic stuff, it's episodic that we come back to. They always have, an actual character for their home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no one knows that Hugo lives in the attic.
Well,
That one episode.
that's actually a perfect point. They'll have tailored spaces to different characters, no matter what it is, and like you can almost have an episode exploring the home too, which is like the contrast of this is what we normally do, but like today I'm gonna go find Bart's brother in the attic. But yeah. So as well as the home, there's also typically like a standard action. See, this is why I was confused. This is the never-ending source of conflict that can be used as a go-to when you have no ideas. This already has a contrast paradigm, either doing the normal thing or deviating from the normal thing. Like, and this creates a natural competence scale for how well the character performed on their adventure. Like,
yeah, like you got to give them a job. Like, if they're a bounty hunter, that's a kind of a classic one because each.
Oh my god! It's the first one on the list.
Bounty
Yes,
hunter.
yes, you got it. First one on the fucking list. But yeah.
Well, that's a good one to go to. It's like you're hunting for something, or it's your job to go get something, and that's or you're a detective. Like if it requires you to leave your comfort zone and go on a quest, that's a really good formula to require a character to repeatedly, especially in an episodic repeated series, to keep on going out there. Because most people, it's like you have one big quest of your life and that's about it. It's like you're back in the Shire, fuck that shit, never going there again.
Yeah, I think that's what Cowboy Bebop does so well, is because they are bounty hunters, and it's like it does episodic stuff really, really well.
It's the same with Space Dandy.
Yeah,
they're also bounty hunters, but they're just complete fuck ups.
Right? Yeah, you never get their
or Black Lagoon, where they're not bounty hunters, but they're pirates. Black Lagoon is fucking awesome, by the way. Fucking love that series.
Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Is there any hot chicks in it?
Yes, there's a hot chick this is hot like. She's Asian American and she's a booty short wearing gunslinging thug. And there's also another character who throws knives, and her name is literally Chinglish because she speaks Chinglish, like she speaks really bad English, and everyone's supposed to be speaking English canonically in the series because they're like a smorgasbord of characters from all over the world, but they're all outlaws and they're all pirates in this outlaw city in Thailand, and it's set in the modern world, and they're always like butting heads against all kinds of mafia around the world. It's awesome.
Well, they have a perfect mundane / chaos contrast there.
Yes.
Because, like the guy that shows up is like an office worker guy.
Yeah. So the main character is a Japanese office worker who is on a trip he works for some shipping company, but while they're in the South China Sea, their ship gets boarded by pirates, and this like meek wimpy Japanese office worker gets taken hostage by these thugs, and then they're like, you know what, and they try to ransom him, but because the company is a Japanese company, the Japanese company is like, we don't give a fuck about him, fuck him, let him die. Then it's like, then these pirates are like, you know what, we don't really feel like killing him, he's part of the crew now. And then this guy is this amazing story about this really neat regular Japanese dude. He's both sort of like the moral backbone to every man that you can learn about this world through, but also he you see him toughen up, but he holds on to his morals in certain ways. It's an awesome series, and also Revy is an amazing character.
Moromi says Space Dandy is episodic on purpose. Yes, Space Dandy was their attempt to like try and make a Western-y thing. So they made it super episodic, and they did have like a home, which is their ship, and a job to do, and like the chaotic world they would always go to. They would land on a planet, and like it's beautiful. It's like a formula. It's the next big thing. It's not the next one. It's the big thing that's already been happening shitloads. But if you want to cynically build like a thing that you could just mine forever. Like literally, my favorite arc of Connell is the one titled Connell the Bounty Hunter. It's gonna be really fun.
Perfect.
But yeah, so the tasks at hand. I wrote a few tasks. I got a bounty hunter, natural disaster cleanup crew, organized crime cleanup crew, crime mystery solving, delivery company, relationship counseling, hitman. Will police, hired mercs for African warlords, pet babysitter, hunting down rare anime figures and purchasing them, killing leadership figures, large and small, researching and categorizing stuff, cockfighting. Hosting a struggling YouTube show about pissing, exploring inside the human body using a miniaturized camper van in order to investigate and learn about various sexually transmitted diseases with the guys from the local pub, defeating
I feel like that's
rival
an anime
sports.
I watched.
Really? The Magic School Bus?
No. That is an anime.
It is an anime.
You watched that, Irene? How lewd.
It's so lewd. Yeah, it's very, very
Wait,
erotic.
there's a Magic School Bus with adults where they figure out sexual. Oh,
No, I was
no, it's
joking,
like-
but there is an anime that's like there's like about human anatomy, and all of like the red blood cells, all the different kinds of cells are little people walking around this factory, and the factory is like a body. It's anime is weird, but
Oh, I was
even-
thinking about this fantasy anime that's about like banging different monsters.
to get the diseases? Do you mean wait?
No.
Do you mean
I have not
Uh,
seen that.
wait?
That's
You
not
mean
what it's-
what is it fucking called? It's called like
Monster categorizer. It's got some
No.
weird dumbass
Wait,
name.
so is this like a
Yeah,
hentai version of Delicious in Dungeon?
hold on, be right
Yeah.
back. I'll get off
I
my
don't know.
shelf.
Delicious in Dungeon is like it's like a D&D manga, but it's about these guys are going on a quest through all these dungeons, and their main goal is to eat all the shit in the dungeon and find out how to cook it. It's like the weirdest, but it's really popular.
It's some anime that like starts with these two guys in a pub, and there's a list of different species, and then they just go bang all of them and come back and check off the species. that they banged. Is it an actual manga?
Interspecies reviewers.
He's got it. Yeah, it's called Interspecies Reviewer.
There we go. Yeah, I was like, I'll see what that's about, but
Is that actually?
You know,
what
something I'm
haven't read it.
noticing that's kind of
Haven't read
funny
eating
is
everything in a dungeon?
huh?
Oh my god!
What were you
if
saying? Noah?
with these ideas, like if you're trying to think of an idea that can be mined for thousands of stories, a lot of times it's like the simple sitcom or whatever. It's like they're bounty hunters, blah blah blah, and like there's a lot of examples of that, and they can be great classic shows. But if you just say the idea, it like sounds dumb. Like the one guy who creates it has to have the vision and stick to your guns and be like, no, it will be sweet, because you'd be like, no, they'll be bounty hunters, and you're like, that's stupid. Like there's a ton of shows like that. Like,
So no,
it
but
will
what
be
they
sweet.
what they would do is there would be bounty hunters, but they would choose a specific brand of the chaos world. Do you know what I mean? It's like bounty hunters in sci-fi land or bounty hunters in wizard world. You know what I mean? They would actually like the unique flavor would be the world that they create, that they go bounty hunting in, and
Yeah.
like the
But even
rules
Rick
they
and Morty,
follow.
if you pitch like sometimes movies with the big arc where you're in chaos the whole time and there's not multiple loops through it or whatever, those if you pitch them, they can be really great. And the pitch is like, damn, I want to see that one. I want to hear that. But like, yeah, Rick and Morty is like a kid and his uncle. His uncle has a portal machine, and they just get up to hijinks. You gotta see it. It's crazy. So funny.
Yep. They just go in and well, that's it's this. It's kind of similar with Adventure Time. They just want to go on adventures. That's it. They go on adventures, but
Yeah,
across.
yeah.
this
It's
kinda
like I got this idea for this world. It's kind of like Candyland or whatever. It's like fantasy world, cartoon world, fantasy, and they go on adventures. You're like, what? So what is your vision for this show? It's like, I don't know. Be
Yeah.
a boy and his dog like hanging out. The dog would be pretty cool.
I think with Adventure Time, with Pendleton Awards showed them the stuff, the executives at Cartoon Network were like, they didn't want it, but there was an enthusiastic higher figure that was like, no, you need to make this. Like, we need to do this. It's kind of like similar with Rick and Morty. Adult Swim just wanted Dan Harmon to do a show for them, and then he just said to Justin Roiland, do you have anything? Like, they wanted him to just do a show. So like they didn't even have to pitch it properly, you know what I mean? Like he already done
Yeah.
Community and stuff. But talking of dipping into the chaotic unknown, Camel Moon for $5. Now that's money. Can you believe it? King Camel has come all the way down from his ivory tower and he's giving me money. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? He says, "Hail
That's
salad."
never happened to me.
You're even being covered up by his money.
God damn it.
Thanks for covering up Phil with your $5, Camel. Hail Salad hit 12K today. He's got the Blu-ray campaign up. It's doing fucking awesome. Only 13K more till we make the movie with Rini as a character. He has hinted that in the movie,
I can't
Maybe you're gonna
wait.
show up.
I can't wait to see how obnoxious he makes my version in Hail Salad.
That's amazing.
And what clips he uses of you like singing or something.
I'll be a disaster. I'm gonna love it.
I'm not gonna reveal anything I know. But yeah, check out Hail Salad. The campaign's doing really well. It was even on the front page for a bit because it's in the fucking Blu-ray section or the comic section, so they can't
Yes.
fucking shadow ban him because it's in a different section, motherfucker. But yeah, awesome, Camel.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get to make that movie. That'll be amazing. And I think little hedgehog dude should definitely show up and say some cringy shit.
I hope Narwhal's in there too, because there was some stuff that Narwhal said not too long ago on the Jack show that was priceless.
You mean like
Oh, yeah.
a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
What did you say? Oh, I missed it. It's MIA.
Do you want to reveal?
Hopefully it gets in. We'll see.
I said a bunch of shit way back in the day, like when I was back in the days when I was getting drunk all the time on the streams, and
Yeah.
people are like, they're like, Narwhal, you're so funny. The character you play is so funny. I'm like,
The character, you're like, it's me, dude.
So no, that's just me.
yeah.
Sure. Let's see if I can present this. Because seeing
Oh,
as
you
Camel.
should get drunk more. It sounds entertaining.
Here's the fun thing about Camel and the Narwhal from the show. So like this this rendition of you, this is basically Rini's drawing of you that you have as your profile picture on Twitter, fused with Camel's version of you from Hail Salad. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I took his colors and then made you a writer, so you always have like a pencil and pad. Because you're the writer guy, so that's your tool. But yeah, so there you go, Camel.
That's great.
There's a little nod to you.
If I overlook at the drawing of me, it's kind of gross. Like it's gross. The teeth like giant dentures in a
I'll bring
freaking
it back.
fleshy walrus type creature.
But it's such a funly constructed face. It is kind of weird. I mean, but you get to transform into anything. Like, look, you're a balloon.
Oh yeah, take my power. I'll just.
You removed all of us to show us the balloon.
Yeah, look.
Oh.
Turn into a
I see.
was
balloon.
very
He is the shapeshifter, right? We went through this all in all of our theoretical D&D classes, and you're the shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one like. Thanks. Yeah, there's like so many. There's one where he's a T-Rex and we're all in his mouth. Like these are ones I haven't drawn yet. There's one where he's like the fancy sports car that we're all driving in. Like there's so many. It's so fun doing the
Need
shapeshifting.
shirts.
No.
For when we
Yeah.
get cons, we need some cool
When I-
shirts.
Hold on.
Okay. We could do, we could actually do something with these characters. Like, I don't mind. I've been thinking about when I do a campaign, putting some creative block stuff on there for funsies, not to like mine money out of our wonderful audience, but just for fun, just for shits and giggles, right?
Yeah, it's built the community.
Like a giant standee that you
No,
can
for real
construct.
though.
Has
You
all the
spent
characters
time. That would be cool. Standees will actually be a great idea. I mean, you
that'd be
spent time
cool.
drawing all these characters, and you draw them overnight.
I'd be
Be
so
fun.
tall.
No, yeah. So if there was ever fucking standees, Phil would have to be huge. Like he would have to be fucking super tall. In the artwork, he looks like he's the same size of everyone, but he's actually like a couple of miles away, and he's like 50-foot Phil.
Look at this. This is what you guys probably didn't see this, but while we were on air, Mike tagged me into this. Bancroft, he did some. Says I wanted to see how long Phil's legs were at a minimum from the creative block graphics, so I rotated them to make them stand upright. Would make a great bookmark.
Yes. That's 50-foot. That's 50-foot Phil.
Oh. I
Nice.
wish
Amazing.
I wish all the other vlog characters were just like tiny and by
At
his
the
feet.
bottom,
Just
really
down here.
small.
You
Yeah,
could make
yeah.
a standee set. You could make a whole ass dioramas out of plastic standees.
I like your donut shoes.
Yeah,
Your Homer Simpson purples of fruit donut shoes.
bookmark could work. Be fun.
Okay, that's perfect. I'll just do whatever. I don't care. It'd be fucking great. Yeah. Wait. So it would have to Phil. It would have to be the longest bookmark. It can't be normal bookmark size. It would have to be like stupidly fucking long. It would have to be unusable as a bookmark.
It'd be perfect for like those oversized books, like CG Vacation. Be hilarious.
Yeah. So an oversized bookmark. Maybe it's like folded. I don't know. Yeah, that's amazing. We could do all sorts of stuff with these characters. It'd be great. I was thinking you could have like so people do standees where they're kind of like all constructed together and they could rock. And I was thinking you could literally have like a giant rocking narwhal with those on his back or something.
They
I don't know.
rock.
You can make standees that are like because you can just do whatever. You're just cutting the shapes out of plastic, right? So you
Yeah.
can get the two like bend things and then get the things that connect them, and it
Rocking
turns
horse.
into like a rocking horse kind of thing. Like, and then you could get like metal things dangling from it. Very, very gay. Make the people hate your bookmark. Yeah, like people get it and they're like, I can't use this. What the fuck? Dango Solis says, when is your campaign, Jake? Early next year. You better believe it. As soon as I finish coloring Fiendish, because I'm doing that first, and I'll get to work on mine. But I want to get Fiendish 2.5 done because people
you.
are waiting for that.
Because you have a
so-
deadline.
Yeah, it'll get done before the deadline. But yeah, to finish off the list, defeating rival sports teams both on and off the field, being racist, causing ecological disaster for fun, ridding the world of wind farms, entering competitions for prize money no matter what they are, from Battle of the Bands to local kids karate tournament, easy win, ridding the oceans of all marine life, proving the carbon cycle is equilibrating and not affected by things like cars or private jets, and arguing with your wife and successfully convincing her that you shouldn't have to do the dishes just because you work at home, because you're still at work just like she was and she didn't do the dishes either.
Are they all going to be slides like this for the rest of the thing?
that would be your Napoleon quotes episode.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
That was
no.
the most iconic and epic episode of Creative Block ever. Is
It
my
was.
Napoleon quote.
It was.
He's here.
Was it?
You making that is why he's on this fucking slide right now. Like,
True.
it's amazing. We have him as the fifth character.
Shortly after we did that too, then that one dude, that filmmaker, announced the Napoleon movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
like the day after.
Camel says, my wife does the dishes or she gets the fists.
What kind of fist?
I wasn't gonna say it, but I wasn't
Very
gonna say
small fists of
I
stone.
should have. Oh,
the
I've
micro
had
fist.
a bit to drink, guys. I've had
Have you got to the cork yet? Did you get to the cork yet?
no.
Fuck that cool.
Lo and
I should
behold,
work on this.
So, if you were gonna pick one, surprise, all tasks valid. And look, we got all the people doing their little jobs at the bottom. Having one set of standard tasks simply provides something to either. What?
Sorry, Vaughn just got it like 2 minutes later. Okay, all right.
Well, he confirms fists of fury or furry. He does
He
have a
didn't
lot
get
of
it.
The type
Animal.
of furry.
he does have a lot of
Get it.
animal characters.
Oh my god. Okay. Sorry.
I must flip it, Jimmy. Anyway, so yeah, having a standard task gives you either something to perfect or push against. Like Homer's supposed to go to the nuclear power plant, but he ends up in space. But yeah, so you get like, aren't we supposed to be a team of traveling accountants? Why are we giving marriage counseling to 2 ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Lol, furry."
I've seen that one.
The marriage counseling ghosts. Well, that's their unfinished business. They were fucking arguing all the time. Stupid fucking ghosts.
The ghost didn't know who should do the dishes.
One of them was at work, and the other one was at work. Just happened to be at home. Like, come on.
Mhm.
Anyway, moving on. And I didn't make a little title for this. Okay.
Thank God.
We're in blue. Can we believe it? Nearly 2 hours, and we're finally at blue.
I'm really.
How
I'm
many
really
colors
proud
are
of
there?
you guys that You're not colorblind.
Blue is the last color.
Hey,
So we're on.
See, now we're
on-
talking.
Like
What-
I feel like
now
this
we're
is
talking.
the most exhausting creative block show, but it's worth it.
Wait, what?
Is it the color of the Ukrainian flag that you're spelling? What are you trying to tell us, Jake?
Yeah, it's just no, it's the fucking pride flag in a presentation. I went through all the rainbow fucking colors.
Oh no, he's totally trying to
Surprise!
indoctrinate all of us. We see through you.
Surprise!
Uh,
Okay, I think
it's
this.
the color of my tusk.
Yeah, you. He has the alphabet mafia tusk to stab through all of the haters.
don't be hating.
Don't be a hater. You'll get the fucking tusk. Although it is a tooth,
yeah, it is.
Oh,
It's a horn.
and
Yeah.
only the males have the tooth. So you're definitely
Usually only
a
they
male.
have the
They're
front
human
voice.
horns.
It is the male. It's just in Futurama they made Lilu have it, and they called her a rare female tooth narwhal, even though they don't really. I don't know. if
Yeah,
they
so
actually
isn't it
exist.
like the left tooth, and it's not even centered if you look closely? It's like just they have one of their like canines that just like.
Is it
Yeah,
supposed to?
weird.
So is
Yeah.
it not supposed to come through his fucking face?
No, it's like their lips go like.
Well, gotta update the graphic. Looks like you have a.
Anatomically dishonest.
I might be wrong. I might
Look
be
up a
wrong. Let me
narwhal skull.
Here is what it is. It was a tooth, but then he shapeshifted it to his nose.
Mhm.
Anyway, the final very specific thing that we can pull out of the fucking thing. If you're gonna cross the threshold, so you have the home, you got your like chaos and normalcy. Now you got to figure out how to fucking cross over, and you've got to make like an iconic visual, something that they definitely just crossed into a new world every single time. And you can have the threshold vehicle, like you would personify the house. You can personify the threshold crossing as some kind of tool or vehicle. But yeah, crossing the threshold can be amplified by creating a specific vehicle of tool. Well done, Jake. That very clearly visualizes the crossing into the literal unknown chaotic realm and leaving the comfortable regular status quo. These tools can also bring the unknown into the regular world, like the fucking Jumanji. You know,
Yeah.
they brought a.
Yep. I remember
You
that.
open the, the old Jumanji.
So we did
Jumanji.
that in the Graveyard Shift story that I wrote. Brahm has a universe hopping device that I cleverly named the Igor computer, which stands for. Let's see if I can remember this.
Working someone's eye out.
Interdimensional Gateway Opening and Recon Computer.
There you go. He's got it. He's got the fucking threshold tool.
Yeah,
So-
and the portal's open, and he goes into different dimensions. So there you go.
as
Yeah,
most
the whole-
Newgrounds descriptions would say, hilarity ensues.
Yeah, it was tragedy though.
I like how isn't you're right. The vehicle doesn't even need to be an actual vehicle. It could be some ceremony. In Stranger Things, there is no vehicle, but there is an alternate world. There is a normal world and fantastical world, and the vehicle is that's another example of the fantastical world, but also the mystery are both the challenge. It's one and the same. And I might not be entirely correct, but I think not all of the time, but in Star Trek, the Enterprise is the regular world, but the actual vehicle often is the what's the fucking beaming devices.
The
That's
teleporter.
Scotty.
It's one that it's a
Yeah.
picture of it right here.
I brain farted. There you go.
Beam me
right
up,
there.
Scotty.
person
Yeah,
following
that's
the
an
leader.
alternate. That's a vehicle.
What's
Yeah,
that
wait.
called?
Nice.
The
Beam? Is it called the beam?
I'm-
beam?
can't
Beam me
fucking
up.
remember.
They
The
just call it-
teleporter. I just remember
No.
Beam Me Up.
I'm not a
I'm
nerd.
not, I'm
The
not
beam-
a
It's
Trekkie.
called the phaser. Is it called
beam head.
Transporter.
I'm
The
phasing.
transporter. It's called the transporter. The film with
Oh.
Jason Statham as the
The
driver.
entire chat is about to disown us.
Hey, we're not Star Trek nerds. That's the Jack Show.
Yeah,
We're the fucking, I guess, anime and
Oh.
animation nerds, at least in this episode. Yeah. So this can also the threshold tool. It also can link into returning home and paying the price, right? If it fucking breaks,
Yes.
and you
Dude,
can have a
it's
story
great.
about like the toil of trying to get it fixed. The threshold tool or vehicle can also be a useful way of representing the price that may be paid for achieving the goal, or even create a goal in of itself by needing to trade/work to have the vehicle tool repaired in some way. Actions that can also lead to the breaking of the vehicle tool in the first place can expose the need aspect of the characters because they fucking misuse it. So it's all tied together. What else have I wrote? Using the power improperly, it can also act as a ticking clock, where there's a window of opportunity in which to return using the vehicle. And look, even Back to the Future did it. This is fucking broke. And the Rick
Yeah.
and Morty portal gun breaks, and the Planet Express shift breaks all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So in the Brom story for Graveyard Shift, there's a really cool part that I put in there where he's getting his ass kicked from the bad guy and just getting tore up. And so as a last effort, he turns on his portal thing to teleport away, and they both start teleporting through different dimensions, and they're fighting on different worlds basically. And then there's a scene where he's falling through, where they're fighting and falling through a bunch of different worlds, and which is really cool. We were able to do this. You see like a bunch of different CG worlds, like different books, like you see Cyberfrog and
Well, that's cool.
a bunch of other characters, and he's trying to be like, look it, there's other worlds out there where there's monsters that aren't bad guys, like Cyberfrog's a monster, right, basically, but he uses his stuff for good. It's like, you don't have to be this way. And so that's kind of cool. And then they fall back into the place they started. And then
If they open the book, is the portal like in the book? Does that ever happen? Do you do? Because I'm saying, do you do the thing where he's like gonna punch him, and then he puts the book in his face, and he punches through the portal, and then punches some character from a different universe in the face?
no,
No.
we'll do that in the Lost Pages though. That'll be a
Do it. You gotta use it as a combat tool.
So I did that in not that specifically, but the Simpsons reference with the picture
Mhm.
frame with the Hugo episode where the doctor. I don't know. So I did that in the first Masquerade story I wrote. The Masquerade holds up a picture frame and morphs into the person he's fighting, and they're like, "Oh no, that's me," and they have like this, inner existential crisis about themselves, seeing themselves because they hate themselves. And then he says something, whatever he says, rhyming, and then he punches him through the picture frame.
Have any of you got okay? Right, tools of the trade. We've got summoning circle, bringing chaos into your world, teleportation, Rick and Morty stuff, shuttlecraft. So even though you have like the ship, I still can't remember the fucking name, the Enterprise. You still always have like shuttlecrafts. It's like the same. Like Red Dwarf, you have the Red Dwarf ship, and then you have like the Starbug, which is like was on one of these fucking.
Is
slides.
Red
Look,
Dwarf cool, Jake? I've seen that show on Tubi, I think.
Do you like it? I think
I
it's
haven't seen it.
amazing. It's a big
Oh.
part of my life. Like
Okay.
Red Dwarf, I used to have all the DVD box sets and watch them over and over again. So like for me, Red Dwarf is fucking amazing. I don't know how much an American would enjoy it in the year of our Lord 2023. But if you were gonna check it out, check out either like season 4, and then depending on how you feel about it, you could jump to season 8 and then see how you feel about it. And then like if you enjoyed them, you could go through all of it and just like have this enjoyment. The whole series is basically at the end of every series they thought they were canceled. So every series is almost kind of different. Like they try and wrap up everything. It's kind of like Futurama in a way, where they always like, oh, we're getting canceled. Let's do like a full wrap up, and then they get brought back, and they have to like figure out a way to get out of that, and then they wrap it up again, and then again. So it's like that other. There you go. The episode.
Your answer took too long, but that's cool. I think I will go see it.
Yeah, my brain glazed over. Like, 2
Sorry.
minutes ago.
I really love Red Dwarf. In fact, I have a fucking. I'm not gonna play it, but I even have an entire Red Dwarf scene. Is it here? There's a clip.
Well, if you're not going to play it,
Well, I was gonna play for like 2
What?
seconds.
Just keep
Yeah.
talking about it.
I hate to go all technical on you, but all hands on deck, swirly thing alert.
Oh, that's Red Dwarf?
That's Red
What
Dwarf.
is it like? It looks like Star Trek but joke version.
Yeah, it's comedic space travel adventures in English, British stuff, and like they go down onto planets and stuff. It's fucking awesome. Like Red Dwarf's fucking amazing. It's comedy space adventures in British,
it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
but good.
What? I heard
Uh,
it looks amazing.
It's like, oh yeah, it's actually good. Anyway, some of the Inception pills, Matrix. Someone in the chat said that like the Matrix, the chair they get in and the jack they put in the head, that's the actual device. Like people might think it's the pills. It's like another crossing the boundary tool, but like
Yeah.
and that can fucking break. Like it can kill them sometimes and
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? Like that can do all the same shit.
Yeah.
DNA
The
sequencing.
Matrix.
Go on.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to mention the Matrix is really interesting because the normal rules of chaotic world versus ordered world almost are flipped and they kind of don't apply. They're like reversed. Or the story starts out, the safe space is it's like the actual the orderly world that's presented as safe is where you start out and you're learning that that's not reality even though it feels safe. So it's like this mind fuck trick of like, well, what choice do you make? Do you want safety or do you want truth? This is really amazing, honestly. And someone in chat also pointed out that the whole like plugging into the Matrix and also how they first wake up when the humans are in the pods, it's like a womb. It's like coming out of the womb into reality. I never realized that visual, but it's so obvious. It's really cool.
Weird pale baby.
Yeah.
Plane crash, Stargate. Romy mentioned Stargate, and a balloon ride to Imagination Land. Like, if you just make some kind of big ceremony out of even the crossing of the threshold, it can be a cool thing. Like in South Park with Imagination Land, they're literally going to the world where all imaginary characters exist. And the way they get there is he just sings a fucking song for way too long, and then later they have to remember the song to get there. But like the Futurama example I have, in Futurama, it's like the ceremony you put around the threshold crossing can symbolize how big a jump it's going to be. In Futurama, they had a rule of they wouldn't really mess with time travel stuff, and unless they were going to think of a really good story. And like that blue and red thing, that's like radiation from a supernova and Fry trying to microwave popcorn, like put metal in the microwave. And they have this whole like creeping sequence of these two colors coming through the ship and meeting, and that's when it like buffets and travels through time. Like
That was great.
in order to make that a special moment in the whole series, they had like this whole very stark visual designed around the red and blue Matrix pills. But yeah, that's fucking it.
Hey.
I had to get
Hey!
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Can you believe it? Nearly made it to 2 hours before the presentation was over. That's got to be a record.
Oh my god! Whoa!
Amazing.
There's
That's
a lot
some
of
good
dick.
stuff. That's Jake sharing his like specialty kind of.
What he's learned through
My
his whole life.
lifetime of watching cartoons.
Yeah,
You won't
basically.
be able to make another presentation like this.
Wait,
Next one's
so
gonna be so much worse.
Yep.
well,
the next.
I'm a little. This was a great presentation. First of all,
No, here
And
comes
we
the
covered
butt.
a
Here's the
lot.
shit sandwich.
No,
Here
no,
comes
no,
the
no,
We
no,
go.
no. It was like we covered a lot about the hero's journey and the known unknown world, and it was an elaboration on that. I'm wondering though, how is the question of how do you create the next big thing? I thought that was what we were.
She got me.
going to
She got me.
address. No.
Oh, you got me. Ah, you figured me out. Ah, you fucking got it.
What? I know.
What's the next big thing?
There's like 20 more slides, isn't there? Damn it. He was waiting for Reedy to
I think
ask.
Jake just didn't
He
have
stepped on the trip.
title for this stream.
Well, no. A good
I
title
mean,
would
I
have been
kind of
Order and
understand
Chaos,
it's
but
about the general structure of creating an
Well,
episodic story
yeah.
or a long form story that can be episodic and that would work, and that's the next big thing. That's what it means. I just wanted to clarify that.
episodic shows end up being these huge cultural icons. Like you can have a movie and you can end up having a series of the films and people are like, oh, the second one was fucking whack or something, or the second one was the best one. But like the thing, I think honestly, the true like tentpoles of creative media, like popular media, iconic shit ends up being the episodic series, and these were just the kind of like little cornerstones I could find of how people set up those worlds before they even know what the stories are. Like none of this was what the stories are. Like we talked about all this shit and it's all set up for like 10 billion flowers for Algernon stories. You know, milk that cow until it's dead and buried.
No, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. This is a basic structure that works really well for a lot of hit series, especially episodic stories that always have this home base and it's episode you go back again and again and again. You want to repeat the same shit, but don't want the readers or viewers to get bored.
But you know something too that's interesting is a lot of those examples are from syndicated time where there was only NBC and that was the only show you could watch. So they're iconic also because there wasn't any competition.
Mhm.
And we're kind of getting more decentralized where maybe if there's like 100 episodic shows to pick from, it still doesn't work almost or whatever.
Well, on
It's-
streaming too, you're getting away from episodic stuff, and it's
Yeah, they're
I
kind of
think-
rare right now.
I think that's why
episode this
Disenchantment
season of a
sucks.
story arc. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of think that's part of the reason why a lot of those series are fucking forgettable.
yeah, I agree.
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't watch anything anyways, but I don't think it's necessarily that because just going off of what I know, which is comics, there are comics that are very episodic, and then there are comics that are long form, and both can be good. Like,
Oh no,
and I
both
think
can
it's just
definitely be
people
amazing.
don't know how to make something long form, but that comes out in installments good. And but we literally just covered that. It is you have the home, you have like the safe world, and then a huge chunk of chaos, but you need a progression in the chaos, and you have a lot of shit writers out that don't understand that, but they do this in manga all the time. And you can even have something that completely ignores a hero's journey, like a lot of superhero stories where it's about a static main character but resisting against the evils of the world, which we should also cover sometime in this show.
Yeah, like so imagine this episodic thing is like the circle is this and it goes up and up and up and up. That mini chaos is within the big chaos for like the manga and anime structure. It's like this and that it goes around. You got the mini circles within the big circle. Like it
Yeah.
ends up coming back around. Like Connell does that. All of the arcs are in one big arc, but then each one is each 3-book thing is a circle, and then like it doesn't in each particular book. I try to do it, but it's hard.
So you're saying his dick should be a slinky here.
Would you believe that might be something? Like, he can be anything, and like obviously he turns into a spring at some point.
Yeah, everybody
Right.
loves the Slinky. All right.
I've got to get down 10,000 stairs, but I can't be bothered to walk down them all. Guess I'm turning my dick into a slinky this week.
I cannot wait for this week's meme by Alex.
Yeah.
So-
hurry up, Alex.
Write that in
Everyone's
there.
almost
You know
Write
what?
that into a story, Jake.
You know what still vexes me though, Jake, is like, say you try to think of an idea like that. You're like, well, I think you think of the ones that work. It's like, so you're like, okay, a guy lives in an apartment and he has neighbors. That's it. Like all the ideas that are successful are like.
What do you mean?
so-
Do you mean like, is that
But-
Seinfeld?
yeah. And like, how do you do like if
They
so
do
if I
do
try
they-
to think of one?
They
I'm
do
like,
have a
oh.
home. They have Jerry's apartment is the iconic character of a home. It usually starts there, and they go in and out of it. They leave it, and they go on some adventure, and then like come back. They don't have
Yeah.
it. He doesn't have a job. Like his job is how to kill time between doing shows because he has like nothing to do.
Yeah,
Jerry
yeah,
doesn't have a job.
yeah. Like in
He's a comedian.
Friends, there
Is
the
he
job isn't the point. But
I mean,
I just mean it's hard
Yeah,
to
but-
like if you're trying to think of a good idea, nothing sounds good. It all sounds dumb. So how do they
Yeah.
even? It's like a leap of
Well,
faith.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about Rick and Morty, but there's another part of the formula. I think it's obvious. But today we're covering structure, but there's another part that we've covered before, kind of in other episodes. It's about the character, having characters that have interesting flaws and they present themselves in interesting ways and they're fun. Like Rick and Morty is just, well, uncle and like kid, they have a portal device. Okay, that could be really boring, but the show is interesting because of their personalities.
Yeah.
And they're creative with all the shit that
dynamic.
they run into. Yeah, the dynamic.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
when I titled this The Next Big Thing, the idea was going to be to come up with examples and then the audience to vote on them. This was already way too long, so at some point I was like, nah. But yeah, the idea was, how do we come up with it? And it's like the character stuff is too complex to have been able to come up with. Like all of this stuff is hard to do well. It isn't just Mad Lib this shit together and you'll have the next big thing. It's like if you feel like you could think of like character dynamics in a world that you could mine for a lot of stories, like this is a possible approach you could take to getting the characters in a home and then shifting them off onto those stories and coming back, and in a way that like the drum beat keeps getting hit in the reader's head, and it's like, I love that character, I love this place, like I want to buy a fucking play set of their house now, like I want to buy the Finn and Jake Adventure Time fucking Treehouse Lego set or whatever, or the replica tool. Like I want to get a replica of the fucking book from Hocus Pocus or whatever. No, I don't want to do that. Not me personally. But yeah, so you still have to be good.
Yeah, come on, guys.
There's no like formula that you can just follow and be successful is the point. Thank you, Frankie says, but aren't character and the hero's journey intertwined? Not necessarily. It's just the hero's journey is very useful for many types of stories.
The original first slide when we were going to think of stuff and choose it was going to be, what do you do first when you're making up your IP? Because it's the world or the characters. Like I was going to have a vote, like see if some people would be like, what would you start with first? And ask you guys, because is it character dynamic or is it the setting? Because for me, it's the setting. Like it's the Connell, it was like crazy fantasy hentai parody world.
Yeah, we covered this similarly, but not this point in a similar way.
We did our
but
creative process, really.
Right,
early
creative
on.
process, right. Do you think about the character or the environment, or do you think about the plot, like the cold or the warm part, like the character journeys and emotions, or do you think about the plot and logic first? And I think everybody approaches those in different orders, but they're both important, and there's no like one right formula. This is very much you're creating something that's true to yourself. You have to figure out what works for you.
It's like in Connell, there isn't a crossing the threshold tool. Like it doesn't exist. Like that would be. It's like some animated shows like it's usually the smaller they are, the like more the shorter time span they follow, like the simpler they kind of like make the formula. Like all of the old like short kids TV shows, they would have a villain, which was the same villain every time, making a different obstacle. Whereas in more complex shows that go on for a bit longer, it's like the villain is usually different. Because if they were using the same villain every time, that would be a mine that would get stripped very quickly, potentially.
Chat's
You know,
asking
another-
for a vote.
Do you want to do the vote? Wait, who's
Make a poll about what was the big next thing.
Yeah. You know, another show I want to break down is Power Rangers. What was the stuff they had? They had their central
thing-
hub world. They had the one bad guy. Did they have a transport between the Chaos and Order? I forget.
Well, yeah, I mean, their power, the things on the belts that they transformed with,
That's
that
the
was kind of
transporter.
that was the tool for crushing their like threshold and then being kids into being Super Sentai fucking robot pilots.
Yeah, Mighty
Yeah,
Morphin
nice.
time. Okay.
Yeah, when they mightily morphed.
And they had their
Okay.
hub where Floaty Head lived and Weird Robot, you know.
What is that? Oh, you got is that sweet or savory or what?
Sorry, I'm just I'm showing you guys this candy I got from Taiwan. It's like it's
Ending the poll. I'm gonna make a new one.
soury but also sweet. It's really good.
It's called
Anyways.
Oh, you know it won. So the chat's on my side. 55 votes versus 32 likes. You guys like clicking on some things, but not others. I see what you're doing. It's okay. I understand.
everyone.
Hey, everybody! Did you like this amazing show and this awesome presentation that Jake made?
I actually I love the
25 fucking
presentation.
slides. I think he deserves a like for this.
I thought it,
And
it it brought up great points that creators should think about. Even just some aspects of that could really enrich a story.
Yeah, I was worried if I know it went on for a bit, and I do apologize for that. I was actually very proud of this one. But I did think if I split that in half, each half wouldn't have enough stuff in it to really feel like I covered a topic. You know what I
It
mean?
worked. I think it was really good. It was just
Great.
the right amount of length.
Yeah, it was very
I love it.
thoughtful.
That's what
I think
she
we had
said.
really good. We had good discussions on almost every
Yes.
slide. Actually,
I've really enjoyed this.
Check
show.
this out. We didn't do a show last week, but did you hear we're up for the Chat Awards?
Yeah, the Chat Awards.
Best
Are
ensemble
we?
show.
Can you share that? You share that?
Best.
when is
ensemble
voting?
show.
That's live on. Is it voting now or is it?
No, it's this Saturday. You have to be there live in the chat, Vanessa's channel, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. They're going to do the vote then. So everybody that is a fan of the Creative Block, go and
vote.
Saturday.
All
Phil-
right.
Phil was
Danger
very
Vanessa. Danger Vanessa.
Yeah.
Go vote on her channel Saturday at 7.
Phil was very excited about the nominations, and he was keeping us updated. And we were all working.
Yeah.
And Phil was
Where are you
screaming.
guys?
Phil was
Wait,
screaming
are
into
any
the
of us
void.
up for any other categories? I think Fiendish 2 is up for best book or something like that. So vote for me.
Don't worry
Cool.
about that.
And I
Just
think-
vote for Creative Block.
Thank you.
I think you have
No, okay.
one for a cover, like best cover, your black cover. Is
Oh,
up
really?
for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I'm terrible. I was busy last weekend. So, anyways, vote for Fiendish and vote for my cover. Thank you.
Yeah, we've all been in the chaos realm.
I really have. It's
for,
been a mess.
like 2 weeks.
It's been a mess.
Okay, I know it's been a bit. We've still got 34 amazing people watching. Thank you very much. It's been at like 34, 36 the whole time, even though there's big streams going on. So thank you so much. You guys are the fucking real G's. Yeah, you guys are the best.
Okay, bye.
Speaking of the best, Novel, you launched this week.
Who's that in the corner?
Look, it's weird skinny Novel that doesn't look like him.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's me
It's
from a while
clean
back.
shaven narwhal. Holy shit!
It looks
What
like
is
you're.
this person?
It looks like you're coming out of some door in Ghostbusters.
That was on it was on a movie set, and it's all like fake cocaine all around me. And then there were people doing real cocaine on the movie set too.
Of course there is. Oh my god.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, have you ever Salad Fingers? You guys know the
Yeah.
cartoon seller? You know
No.
that guy made that like live action stuff about that chav who was called Devo? He's like, fucking Devo me. Do you not remember that?
No.
No.
Never mind. You kind of look like him.
I've heard
Anyway,
of
so you've launched an eBay store for all your wonderful, amazing back catalog of books.
Yeah, look at my works. Behold my
What a
works.
great idea. And this is eBay? Why does this look so
Yeah, eBay's kind of cool. You can kind of make it look pretty sweet.
maybe I haven't been to eBay in a while. This looks good.
Yeah. And
Go get your eBay
there,
on it, Phil.
Yeah.
there's a few that are fun, like the Graveyard Shift Supplemental Volume 2. I have a 20-page short story in that.
Mhm.
So there's like some kind of obscure narwhal stuff for the completionists. But that story is also awesome. So it's worth checking out.
Lilith
There-
story, right?
Link is
Yeah.
in the chat.
And then the Tiger Blue 2, I have a episode in that. And then the other one I'm kind of pitching, this is mostly functional for the catch up for people who are kind of coming in, whatever, because I've been around from the beginning, but I have a whole opening trilogy kind of, and it's Earthbound, Foreign Agent, and Nosferatu. So I recommend, if anyone missed those are all pretty great. I'm proud of all those. So
Where's
check them
Foreign
out.
Agent?
You
There
can
it
pick
is.
them up here. Yeah.
And you also have a campaign that's chugging along. Hotel Story over here.
Yeah, almost 15 thou. Meeting with Jared, we're doing the behind the scenes, some bonus bonus like type material, like the lore for Gary of how he accidentally starts the race riot and stuff like that. And yeah, it's
You know-
fun. We're just getting it all going.
In a Hotel Story, you do have a threshold tool. There's like a ceremony or sequence that someone does.
Yeah, it does go from order to chaos. Yeah. And it's more like it's not necessarily episodic. Although, you know what, it almost could be episodic of the job, because it's the Liminal Angels. They're like Angel FBI. And so they have multiple jobs, but this is just one job that they have to try and stop the witch. So there could be more.
That could be cool. Yeah. Hell yeah. Just go and solve a different multi-murder spree in a different place.
Yeah.
Speaking of get rid of it. Speaking of multi-murder sprees,
Yes. I got multiple characters, a lot of characters in here. Yeah, I think we have like 15 pages left. So we're so close to being done with this. I'm fingers crossed we'll be at the printers by the end of the year. It'll be amazing. Ricardo's working his ass off on this. So is Dan with the supplemental book. And we're talking about Order and Chaos. I think the main story for the Lost Pages 3 is perfect with that, because we do get a lot of the story being inside of Jasmine's imagination. So she gets drugged and sedated. She can't see her imaginary friend Krim anymore. And when he goes back into her mind in the world of imagination, it's being overrun by one of her inner demons, who's now known as King Loath. So he's kind of transformed the imaginary world in her head into this hellish landscape. And there's like these little gremlins running around doing his bidding, and he has to fight the big bad in there. So that's your kind of like two different planes of existence. And even on Earth, where Jasmine is, she's kidnapped, so she's kind of swooped away off of her regular day-to-day life, now being captured in this other area of the city, being in chaos. So a lot of that going on. So this is gonna be awesome. 82 pages of kick-ass action and lots of cool hero stuff, and very, very heavily character-based storytelling here. So hope you guys check it out.
check it out. Speaking of very, very character-based storytelling, Fiendish 2.5.
Oh my gosh, of course you had I should not have eaten a candy right before you pulled on my campaign. Good job, go me. But
Speaking of Go
Yes.
Me, Connell the
oh,
Barbarian.
there you go. Thank you for distracting everything.
Connell the Barbarian. The funny thing about Connell is where you would usually have a character that's like normal and then they go into the world of chaos. He is the chaos. that forces himself into the world, which is usually quite ordered and ticking along. So it's kind of like flipped the whole thing. You could kind of almost see him as a villain to most people, but no, he's a hero. He's got a good heart, a very chaotic ADHD heart, which pumps all of the vital blood around his body, including his special ability,
Amazing.
which is very clearly vascularly represented on screen. But yeah, sign up. We're at like 170 signups. I want to get to 200. So if you haven't signed up for Connell yet, please do. If you sign up and then back the campaign, you will get a wonderful trading card drawn by the amazing Irene Strakowski herself. I don't have the artwork up. I need to put it up. I have colored it. But yeah, Connell the Barbarian is a comedy fantasy filled with boobs, gore, and hopefully an engaging story. I put this presentation together. Like, if you think I know what I'm talking about at least 5%, then I guess it could work. But yeah, it follows the titular hero Connell in his efforts to save his reputation and avoid embarrassment in the only way he knows how, by hijacking someone else's quests. But yeah, signing up. If you can't get quests of your own because you're banned from the guild, then I guess you could just hijack someone else's and still rack up points. But yeah, speaking of racking up points, have you finished your candy yet?
Finish. 2.5. Yes, I did.
That's a lot. That's a
I
lot of
almost
points.
swallowed that whole thing full. I shouldn't have said that on screen. Anyways, 24,000. Oh my gosh, Venus 2.5. Thank you guys so much. We just hit 24,000. You guys are amazing. Let's try to gun for 25K. And I think I should be. I want to put up the stretch goals real soon. I was debating between should I put them up now or when we get 25K, but I'll figure something out. I'll have the stretch goals up really soon. But Fiendish 2.5 is the first standalone one-shot to the Fiendish series. The story covers Kazumiya's journey after his hometown of Dorba was destroyed and after he lost his family in the demon attack. And we find out more about how he survived in that time period, how he grew up, and how he met some of the other characters that you see in the main series, like Iskil and Ragna. The purpose of the 0.5 chapters are they're standalone stories, and they're not directly in continuity or necessary for the main story, but it'll definitely add a lot to your understanding of the main story, and they will add to your understanding of the world building and the characters. So I am very proud of this story. I'm sure you guys are going to love it. It's 25 pages. It's a lower entry point, and it's a shorter story than the main books. The main books are huge. Like Fiendish 1 was 55 pages. Chapter 2 was like almost 70 pages because I'm insane and I have no self-control. But this is 25 pages, so it's a very book-focused campaign. As you can see, there is one main cover, then there's a second cover that is limited. You can't get it on its own anymore. That was only for the first 24 hours, but you can get it in a bundle. So the Peak Survivor perk is the one that I would recommend for everybody. It's technically a subscription perk. It's technically a subscription tier, but it's also a lower price point because, again, this is a very simple campaign, book focus. You get 2 covers, 2 variants, you get a magnet, and you get an enamel pin. Really cool, and it probably will have I'll definitely have a few stretch goal items that are only for that perk alone. So if you're thinking of backing this, I would recommend that. And if you haven't read Fiendish 1 or 2, you can also get the completist tier. You can get the permanent covers with 2.5 and get all caught up. And also we have a lot of original art on this campaign that we will continue putting up. These 2, there's still 2 pieces that haven't sold that are by Michael Rushbrook, who is the interior artist. The interiors are drawn by Michael Rushbrook. I'm the writer. I draw the main series, but for this book, I am writing. I did the layouts with Michael Rushbrook, did the inks and the pencils, and all of his work is done, by the way. And it's being colored by Jake. So those colors you saw up there are by Jake. So fantastic art team, and we have a lot of original art. And once those 2 pieces sell, we're going to be putting some more art by both myself and Michael up on there. So hurry up and nab those before they're gone. And come back and check on this campaign. Bookmark this page on fiendishcomic.com. You can also back it on Fun My Comic. It's all the same. And thank you, everybody, who has checked this out so far. You guys are awesome. Yay.
Irene, can I ask you something? You know this character? Is this a character that hasn't been introduced yet and will become relevant in book 3?
May or may not be.
Okay, this just
Really cool. I really love that piece there.
yeah, like
It's a great piece.
the reason why I'm saying that is just people haven't
You've
met
been
this.
paying,
Yeah,
you've
I'm
been
just
paying attention.
just
you would
saying.
know.
If someone gets that, they might later be more happy. Like they might be like,
I'm
"Holy
just
shit!"
saying. I'm shocked those haven't sold yet. Like that. I don't know. I can't spoil it. I can't tell you what's. Anyways, so all those pieces there, those are all the art on the left side there. Those are all pieces already sold. So you're too late. Those are already gone. So I don't even know if I'm gonna do more wood burning pieces, but maybe we'll see. Yeah. But you gotta if you want some original art, you better check back quickly.
Speaking of checking back quickly, what a perfect segue! Phil, you sharing something?
Yeah, I meant to pull this up. I forgot I showed this. Just some interior art progress. This is from one of the pages that we just got probably last week. Colored badass
Sick.
panel. Yeah, I wanted to show that off. So that's King Loath and Krim face to face in the imaginary world. So shouts to Ricardo and Eugene, our colorist, killing it on this. And yeah, super cool.
Looks beautiful.
Chaos. Thanks.
Well, do you think it's time for us to enter the second half?
Yes, it is
Yeah, let's do.
Should we do it? Shall we use our threshold tool to cross over from order into chaos?
I
Mhm.
can't wait.
Oh my gosh! Wait, Chad told me I need to market myself better. Yes, Phoenix 2.5 is now the best-selling comic on filmmycomic.com. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
sweet.
learning.
Congratulations.
I'm learning.
Well
I
done.
need to sell this better. Yes,
Oh.
best-selling comic. All right,
How
let's
much
enter
better?
the zone.
How much better? How much are you like stepping on? Like how many thousands?
You passed Baron. You passed Baron and Kelsey Shannon.
It's good.
I don't know,
Really?
like a couple thousand.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. What a wonderful.
I'm very grateful. Thank you guys. It's all thanks to the fans. It's all thanks to the fans. Thank you.
Mhm.
Is it time to do it?
Yeah.
He didn't let me finish. I was going to say, is it time to do it right? Meow.
He didn't. He left us hanging, and he subverted us. Did you see what happened?
Are you going
He
to
left
finish
us
that
in
bottle?
chaos. No, I'm not. I was just pouring it after the video as a meme. I don't even know if I'm finishing. I'm putting this in the fridge. I'm not finishing this tonight.
You got nothing to close
I
it
don't-
with.
What?
You got nothing to close it with.
No, I'll just put some plastic film over and put it in the fridge.
Did you choke on the cork yet?
It'll be fine. No. My God, no.
I don't want that to happen. I just thought it might happen. Caleb says
No.
kick one. Wait, we successfully kicked him a while ago. Guess what? Oh, there's no address on this thing. Fuck. Unless my address is A21. Phil, you guys were doing show and tell on Camel Moon, Camel Nest last night. I just want to say I got the same freaking thing, like on the same
Dude.
day.
Dude.
Look at that hollow cover. Look at that. Shing, shing, shing.
Dude. It's awesome.
Speaking Chinese right now. Shing, 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 shing.
The cover's great.
No, you speak it so well.
Shing.
The backup preview is great.
Another freaking patch in there. And also,
And it's signed.
because I didn't have this already, I picked this up because, you know, our good fucking friend Jay Krager drew this shit. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that looks awesome. I got a bunch of books to unbox as well.
Your buddies with Jason?
Well, I've commissioned him like 3 times.
That's right. You
what-
colored some stuff for him, and he's
I
found some
colored
stuff for
that
you.
Metroid Prime shirt that I had is his art, and then
Yes.
I colored that. And then I did like Commission
Dude.
2 of the pieces in that line, and then I'm
It's
gonna
so
call it.
good. So he drew the preview in the back of that issue, the floppy that you have.
Oh, he's doing this too?
Yeah, so it's the next book that he's doing with Adam Lawson called Jawbone Death. It's so freaking metal and horror and biker gore.
Oh, that totally did look like his.
It's the last 3 pages or whatever of the book.
I got into it.
It's like demon sacrifices and shit, and it reminds me of Lobo and the Crow, and it's freaking sick.
Lobe Crow.
I'm like, I want to write that, or I want to be that guy.
Well, they're already doing it, so should have looked.
I know I fucked up, but Adam's great. I was just talking.
You should have made 10 million more IPs and juggled them throughout the year.
What I'm doing?
Struggling and juggling.
You're about there.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Wait, well, what progress have you made on superheroes from the past come to the future, and then they act like past superheroes in the modern world? Well, how's that going? The other show.
Who was that? I remember that.
I thought that one up on your Halloween show, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But check this out. So speaking of Adam Lawson and the Kill Journal, I'm sure we announced this on Halloween. We haven't had a show since then, but we're doing this next year. Kill Journal meets Crimstone. Gonna be freaking awesome. Progress is already underway on this. And
if you weren't full screen, we'd be able to see the whole thing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Or not.
Or not. I probably have that on this computer too, but who cares?
It looks awesome. So what is it?
So, I mean, obviously you just got the Kill Journal, which is this world of crazy horror slashers, basically like films like Friday the 13th and Halloween, but told from the perspective of people that don't get killed all the time. So you have a team of survivors that have all been traumatized and had a part of their lives ripped open by these revenants who are basically film slasher characters with their own twists. Adam has his own twists on them. And it's an ongoing war led by this guy here, St. George, who's a priest, who's you actually see some of his origin in that book that you just got there. His family was destroyed by a evil revenant. So in this, Adam was like, hey, you want to do a crossover? I'm like, hell yeah. Like, he wants to do it with a Lost Pages character. We settled on Crimstone. Thought he fit right in, specifically because the revenant that we've created for this book is kind of like has the abilities of like Freddy Krueger. So he kills you while you're sleeping in your dreams. So who better to go up against him than this imaginary friend that kind of lives in that imaginary world as well. So
Dreamboat.
Psycho Slumber. It's gonna be badass. 60 pages. Art is by Juan Gideon. Spiker's calling it a knockout team, and we're gonna try to do a black and white ash can at the start of the year. And out right after Lost Pages 3 ships. Pretty sick.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Congratulations. Isn't that going to be next year?
Yeah. It progress is going really well. I think with this, the plan is like we're going to ship Lost Pages 3. You guys are going to read all about Crim and Jazz's newest adventure, and then right after you're done reading that, you're going to be able to get some new content with the characters in it again. So I'm super excited about it. It's been kind of my first time doing like a slasher horror thing as well. Fun.
Are you going to have a weird twist on the slasher genre? Or are you going to go full like just classic?
There's some twists and turns. It's not like super like, oh, these guys are banging in the woods and they're all going to get killed. But the cool thing I really enjoy about the Kill Journal universe is all these bad guys like these slasher characters, they have a way that they can be destroyed, and it's kind of like a Horcrux thing where you have to figure out how they were turned into these characters, like what trauma did they go through to be, for their souls to be unrest and for them to be taking out their aggression on the real world again. So that was the really interesting thing, to think up, this specific bad guy and what they have to do and what they went through. So it's fun.
Because of the horror genre thing, slash is obviously horror. Like we talked about, like, oh, there's a past crime that almost creates the monster.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It made me, you saying then, it made me wonder, is the way to solve it usually tied to the past, like, just transgression that created them? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, in this in Adam's world, it kind of is, which is why I really dig it.
that's really cool.
It's fun. Here's a better look at it. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah,
I did it.
hey, look, the funny thing, when I first saw this, I just thought it was Bancroft.
That's Michael Bancroft right there. Yeah.
In my head, I think it's Bancroft meets Crimstone. I'm like, that's a bit of interesting crossover. Yeah, Bancroft's like dressing up as a priest for Halloween. He's coming trick or treating.
It's kind of. I know you haven't read the actual main book yet, but the Kill Journal is an actual item in the universe. It's like their little notebook that he writes down these adventures, or like, notes about the monsters or whatever. And in the Lost Pages book is an actual book in the universe, so we kind of get to play with that as well.
It's your death notes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that way. So like, you'll see the hobo in the story in this one, so he makes an appearance too. Super excited about it. Let's see what people were saying.
Irene and Noel, have you got any cool stuff coming in recently, or like, have you not been to your PO box yet, or not had anything delivered to your house?
For what?
Just, show and
Oh, my
tell.
stupid mic was muted. I'm a fucking retard.
Oh.
No, I got a bunch of shit from my PO box. I should, but I'm gonna save it for an unboxing stream. I got a bunch of stuff. I'll do I need to do get back to doing unboxing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that, and my big order for the Cyberfrog books came in, so I got all the supplemental stuff that I got to read, which I'm excited about.
I'm still waiting on like all my Cyberfrog stuff. I bought a lot of action figures and back to a couple of campaigns. But seeing as I'm international, I suppose it makes sense that it would be like left a little bit later. But yep.
Download Solo had some questions.
Oh yeah.
Did you work together on the script? So basically, came up with a plot and then scripted from there, and would send it over to Adam, and he would be like, because he knows his characters more than I know his characters, right? So it's like, we're going to tweak this dialogue here, this guy. So we would go back and forth on that stuff. And it's kind of how we're doing edits for the art too, which is pretty cool. And I'm not sure. He asked the ash cans. Should we do ash can sized or big size? Because what you got there, Jake, that's a full size like comic book.
Yeah.
And even for that small one too. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a poll, because we do want to do a preview of this, like the first 20 pages or 24 pages.
Oh, you think you do the preview like a special size?
Yeah, I don't know if we should do it like a regular size or smaller. We'll see when we get closer to the next year.
I've been playing it, because I want to do a preview book of Connell and the Drake Bristle thing. And I also considered a similar thing of like, if you're just doing the preview book, maybe make it a little bit bigger or something. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Because this will be, because you look at like Joe Sontag, his Ashcan was like the first, I don't know, 10 pages of Reaper Destroyer, but it was Ashcan sized. And it was black and white. Maybe we do a full size issue, and this is like a preview because we want to do black and white because the black and white looks actually really cool.
Yep. I really love 2-color printing. I found one printers that can do it, and I haven't got a price quote from them, but it can look so fucking cool. But yeah, it's very luxury. Is Bancroft still working on a Southern Hemisphere hand-drawn star map of the Australian Astronomical Society? They got different stars under there?
It's all lies.
Subterfuge.
It's upside down world. Everything is all the constellations are flipped.
Okay, right. If I was to make like standees and stuff, like what would be the best thing to do? We got the Phil bookmark.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But would you be sad if there was no Phil standee? If there was like just the other standees and then one giant Phil bookmark? Maybe you can
No.
shrink.
I mean, I would want a standee, but
Maybe you can shrink. Maybe you can extend those legs. Maybe like Inspector Gadget, you say go Phil legs.
That is a really stupid idea. What you can do is make Phil the base, and then all the other standees are like standing
on top
on it
of
because his figure is so huge.
The
Yeah.
mini. He's just like regular size, and all the other ones are like mini ones. Oh, because you know on your standees, you got to just have the piece of plastic and do whatever you want with it. I imagine if someone had, like, if they were going to do a campaign, they would find a place that would give them a piece of plastic like this specific size, like the exact same as a comic book, so you could like stack them all in the box together, and there'd be no like this is being pushed down and creased. It would be like stacked perfectly. Is
Yeah.
that the size of yours, Irene?
Hmm?
I thought you were getting it out.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to find it.
I felt like yours is half, and then you could
There-
put two.
Here's one of the demon ones that are still in. Yeah, they come like this
I mean,
in a whole.
Put it next to a
Wait.
book.
Oh, right.
It's this big in
I
camera.
mean, you can see it's like
that's a
I'm
little
holding
smaller,
it.
but it'll fit in a
It is
in a
small.
bag, like a book
You
bag.
can
too.
you can get it. You know.
Wow,
like, if
a
you
real
got-
comic fan has the comics right next to her at all times.
Yeah, there we go. It is half. Like, yeah.
My fucking book. Yeah, see.
Yeah.
It's manufactured in Taiwan, so I know it's about 11 centimeters, 12 centimeters by like 11 or some shit like that. No, it's 13 by 11. Anyways, it's this size, but they can make it. I didn't actually ask the limit. I'm sure there's a limit, but I know they can make it bigger. I decided personally I wanted my standee to be this. I wanted this one to be like about 4 inches tall, but.
4
know.
inches,
Can
perfect
make them any-
size.
Yeah, that's what she said. But I know they can make them bigger, and they're really flexible. I have like a really great factory. If I'd be more than happy to ask them. They can do all kinds of shit. They're amazing.
Yeah, no,
They're
I was thinking if you could find a place that had a piece of plastic that was like that exact dimension, then you could like basically have all of like a collection of mini standees of like a group of characters that were all on the same sheet. And they all had their own bases. It was all on the same thing.
Well, it would be gigantic, but if you wanted to get one that is comic size, you could get. Say we have 4 characters. You could get that on a sheet that's about the size of a comic. But the thing is, you'll probably have to do offset printing because digital printing isn't that detailed when it's on acrylic. So the problem is constant quantity.
Okay.
I'm talking shop now, but it's just we'll figure it out.
Speaking of talking shop now, look who it is.
What's going on? How we
Oh
doing?
no!
Hey, word up.
Oh
Look who it
yeah!
is.
Oh yeah!
Here we go.
Everyone is now looking for the door. They're like, Vaughn's here. How can I leave? Vaughn,
Big off.
no, Phil, we're losing Phil. Vaughn, give us your,
what a shame.
give us
That's
your
fine.
intricate, detailed take on the amazing presentation That's your what is it? Threshold tool. Is your pound of flesh is like saying what your thoughts were. You didn't watch it.
Can you fucking say that, but like in a concise manner?
What'd you think of the presentation?
There you go. There you go. That's so hard. Here's the thing.
Yes.
I missed like the first hour or so of it, because I was out with friends, but it was good. The second half,
Right.
You don't have to lie about
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
were.
fuck you,
Just-
Phil.
You have to make something up.
I have friends, dude.
I would
so-
never.
You
never
do.
personally-
Congratulations. Wow.
Projecting. All right. Now, anyway,
Yeah, I am.
So no, I was I liked it. I didn't know what the hell it was about though. I was kind of confused because the title said the next big thing, and then you were just I was like, okay, well, what is it? Like it sounded like it was going to be an announcement stream or something.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
it was a
it's called
presentation.
fucking clickbait, Vaughn.
Why don't you just be honest with the audience, Jay?
No, that's not fun. That's not
You know what's
That's
also not fun?
fun.
POV 1 week ago. Oh, I'm really excited for Creative Block, and then an hour goes by.
Oh,
I'm still waiting.
he's getting, oh, he's getting me. Oh, he's hitting me with it. I'm taking a beating.
And then I
from
go,
him.
oh, Phil Diaz, when's Creative Block? He goes, oh, it's not happening tonight.
Oh,
They canceled.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, Vaughn, you have to vote for the Creative
Very
Block
sick.
this weekend for best.
Yeah,
ensemble
where
show.
can I find the link to that?
they're not voting yet. It's not. There is no link yet. I'm not doing it right now.
There might be
Oh, really? Look at the title page, Vaughn. It says, "Get ready to learn everything you need to create the next big thing."
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And then,
I mean, I thought half of it was good. I didn't see the other half.
you mean the half you watch? Okay, well, so
Yeah.
we'll sit here for an hour. If you open up a window,
No, it's okay.
no, if you,
Oh my
you can go
God.
back and listen to the first hour. Fine, I'll run you through.
Yeah,
it
you
super
guys,
quick.
if you guys want, you could just watch me silently listen for an hour, and then I could give.
Yeah.
Look, Irene,
I'm good.
you don't know
Fine.
how to be silent, Vaughn.
Irene, you're up for community ambassador as well.
Am I?
Yeah, let's take a look at these.
How'd that happen?
Take a look
Well,
at these
thank you, guys.
beautiful-
I was just looking at Amanda's page and seeing all the
do?
video of the nominations. Wow.
All right, here we go.
Here we
The
go.
nobody. Wait a minute. Wait, I can. The Nobody Gives a Damn Awards.
Yes.
By Saturday, November 11th. Best Artist: Kenneth Roquefort,
Yes!
Shane Davis, Aaron
Who's Irene?
Presti, Irene Strakowski. Oh wait,
The best letterer.
You just go.
What root letters?
There's more people than just Eric Weather.
It's
This is
of course it's gonna be.
Here we go, best
Hey,
cover.
look!
Best
Mine.
cover.
Vote for mine. Vote for mine. Even though
That
I
one
love
has
all
titties on it. You should vote for it.
that one does
Ooh.
have titties. That's true. These are all fucking great covers, though.
Best
Ooh.
Ensemble.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
vote for us.
All right,
We're
Creative
we're
Block, I'm voting.
creative.
Gotta
We're
vote for the home team.
entertaining.
That's
Look at
gonna be
our
hard.
effusive, effervescent personality. Not
We're-
effervescent. Effusive
we're-
personalities. Vote for us. I'm drunk.
We're
That one's gonna be hard.
edutainable.
I think
We are
Greybeards
educated.
had 20 votes and Creative Block had like 17. So we're for
Yes!
the nominations.
You know what?
Yes,
Eh,
everyone vote.
So,
Vote,
it's
vote,
gonna be
vote.
hard.
Anyone
but I
is
think
that
we can do
nominating
it.
the rule? We need to like flush the whole.
This is Saturday at
Community
7, right? Maybe they'll do a
ambassador.
stream before then, and then direct, and then rate everyone. over
Yes.
to,
Yeah.
to
Do it.
that.
Cook the books.
I'm not
Put your
cooking the
finger on-
books. I'm promoting myself
No.
and my friends.
Yeah, exactly. Do it. Do it.
Bancroft, Samedi, Amanda B, Tampa is a great ambassador. And
I really feel like Tampa should,
think
or
Tampa
Michael should
should
win
win.
this one.
I
Yeah,
really-
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
agree,
say that
Tampa's-
they deserve it.
Best value.
Venus too. best value.
Listen. Phoenix Shoe was fucking good value. I am very happy with my Groken purchase and my Cyber Frog purchases. But listen,
Cyber
Phoenix
Frog?
Shoe, it was a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of shit. Okay, I had like 2 free prints, like
Wow, that's
4 free trading cards.
Still haven't got
I'm
mine.
marketing myself. Okay, listen,
Still
vote
haven't
for
got it.
Phoenix. Thank you.
Still haven't got
Cecil's for best character.
best
No, best
character. He is the character.
D-Man somehow made it.
What?
So there it is.
I mean, I literally have spent $450.
Who's Ella
on the
Force?
PC.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what?
Who's Ella
That's
Forsyth?
true.
I don't
Oh,
mean to be-
don't come on,
Luke,
Vaughn. Don't
That's
embarrass
Bancroft,
yourself.
right?
It's
I
the-
haven't. I haven't read
It's
it
the
yet.
ginger
Oh
Shame
ale.
my
on
God.
you.
Read some
Shame
comics.
on you.
Listen, penis. I was reading comics earlier today.
I
said,
Come
"Come
on,
on,
don't
years old.
embarrass yourself.
I saw. I was watching.
I'm
a
sorry. I'm
I was
sorry,
watching a
Jacob.
film.
Michael's right in chat. You just hurt his feelings so
Film. I was
much.
watching
sorry.
a film, and the perfect actress that looked exactly like Ella was in it, and I can't remember her name. And I'm gonna try and spend like half an hour looking it up now. Like, oh, what
Vote
was the-
for Tampa. Most memorable moment. Absolutely Tampa.
Yeah,
like
this
be in
one-
touch. There is no competition. This was
Mine
all
for eternity.
moments. But Tampa CG meetup, that's like 4 fucking straight days. That was the
That was
entire
it,
thing
by
was
far.
a moment.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
amazing.
like that is not
And
going
the
to
many
be.
months
Although I'm
of
surprised
content
Garden
after.
State wasn't nominated too. That was a huge meetup. Too.
That
This
was pretty
had-
good too, but I wasn't there, so I'm
This
just gonna
had
chill
the
Tampa.
most votes for when they did the nominations. So
It was
Tampa
fucking
on top.
amazing. What film did I watch?
Best colorist.
Best colorist next year, guys. Next year.
Mm.
Yes.
Nah, Kelsey's very
Alright.
good.
Best new creator.
Best new creator.
Allie! Vote for Allie! Allie!
Kelsey?
Kelsey's not new. I
Chad.
mean, he put his own book out for the first time, but it's
Chad.
vote for Allie!
Most anticipated book. There
Lost
you go.
Pages!
Oh shit! Lost Pages, guys.
Yes. You know, it's gonna. This is hard though. This is very hard. I'm gonna tell you.
I
Oh,
think
oh
I'm
boy.
personally anticipating the Lucent the most.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
I can't wait.
John
for
hasn't
the
even read the first one. Okay.
I haven't. I just haven't. All right, I'll make
he
it a
has
priority.
read the Lost
Hold on.
Pages. All right.
Between Lost
Yeah.
Pages, Lucent, and Cordrath, I don't know. I'm gonna have to flip a coin. Or 3.
I'm excited
I
for
don't know
Kate
how that
Carter.
works.
Hold on.
Minecraft, come and hang out for like 10 minutes before Alex will be post the meme and we leave. Entertainer Best Solo Show.
That's gotta be either Ethan or Michael, dude.
Stat.
They're both really good.
Minecraft's
I
doing
think-
it every day. He's
I don't
like,
know.
"He's
I
doing
think
it every day, man.
Vaughn Coleman live last week was pretty good. I don't know.
I love
Yeah,
Kelsey
anyways,
shows. He
moving
needs to
on.
do them again.
Okay, so I've been getting my sleeping schedule back in order, so I haven't been able to watch Bancroft show. I've recently caught a couple, and it's making me want to stream again. Like it's inspirational. I can't believe he does it all the time.
I
How
miss
does he?
your old streams, Jake.
I'm gonna
Morning stream.
do my Lego building stream. I am gonna do them again.
That
I just
sounds
Lego.
I'm going through a lot.
Don't do Lego.
Don't build a
No,
Lego
hang
on
on.
stream.
What
I'm gonna
is-
have Phil, I'm having multi-camera
No.
setup for building a Lego Viking village.
I'm gonna do something very
Adorable.
rare. I'm gonna side with Jake.
Pretty epic.
Jake is right. Now I
This-
never
this
say
one-
that about.
This means that I'm definitely wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Who's there?
with these unholy alliance
never-
cannot
I'm never-
stand.
Listen, I'm siding with Legos, not you. All right, let's make that clear.
All right, guys. We need a repeat this year. I was best writer last year. We need a repeat.
You're up
Alright.
against Narwhal and
I
Chuck
know.
Dixon
Here's
and
the
Mike
thing.
Barron. This is hard.
Oh my god. Here's the thing. There was like 3 ties for 9 votes. So that's why there's so many people nominated in this category. If there was a tie after like 5 people or 4 people, they would put everybody that had that tie.
Well, Irene's not in there. None of these people are
hard.
tie. When he's
No,
gonna
I'm
be
not a
hard.
real writer yet, guys. But I'm working on it.
You could do it.
Where's Mark Polton?
Creator of the Year.
Wow.
Diaz
Yes,
Bros, you're not one
Diaz Bros.
creator. You're like 2 people. You're like
Yeah, I was.
I mean, they're
actually-
pretty interchangeable.
They merge into one single being at this
That's
point.
right.
That
Yeah, we're
was so
basically the same
tall.
person. I was actually surprised that someone nominated both of us. I thought that was pretty cool.
They sound the same. The same
You guys
person.
do have super similar voices. It's weird.
I've lived
Minecraft
with him
doing his
for a
best
little bit.
impression of Wendigoon, saying that nomination means the most.
Oh my god, I just heard it in Venegoon's voice in my head.
Look, Fiendish 2 up for Book of the Year.
Yes! What? Oh, thank you guys so much.
It was
Of
that's
the year.
my favorite one that
That's
I've read this
awesome.
year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
thank
have-
you.
Well, I have read it. I was about to say I haven't read it yet because I haven't had it, but I have read it.
What are you talking about? Did he give feedback?
There you go.
Wait, you haven't gotten it
He
yet?
was one of my
No.
proofreaders.
Oh, Jake, you know you probably would have got it if you were in like a better country, like say America, for instance.
God damn.
Yeah, I'm sure that the country it's shipping from probably would get it quicker, but yeah. Still waiting.
Bobby-
Okay,
The country you're
You'll
shipping
be
from
getting
I
it
is
actually-
better
soon.
one?
You'll be
Irene,
getting it
right.
soon.
I do actually on days where I wouldn't usually leave my door and go and look downstairs. I like wearing my pajamas and I'm like, is it here? Is it here yet? And I go and I peek at where the letterboxes is and I'm like, nah, it's not fucking here yet.
Oh,
then-
I'm
but-
sorry. Like all the all the
It's
big
fine.
box, the international orders, and some of like the box orders are taking forever just because of the assembly. So bless RJ, poor guy.
Bancroft, how do you?
He's
Bancroft
suffering.
doesn't know who Wendigoon is. He's the greatest. He's the
Oh,
man.
Baker,
Well-
you would like Wendigoon. Yeah, you should.
He's
you should
awesome.
Check out. It's Wendigoon with an I, but if you search him on YouTube, you'll find him.
Yeah.
He does kind of like videos talking about what is he? Just like mystery,
I mean,
horror
really, whatever the
stuff,
hell he
like-
wants.
Yeah,
like he
horror,
can talk about anything.
mythology. He
It
just
sounds gay, but his biblical videos are the best.
yes,
I
actually,
haven't read
it
his,
is.
watched his
It
biblical
is.
videos.
It's
That
really
sounds
interesting. So
gay.
it's the first. I mean, I don't know why that would sound gay. It's actually really fucking interesting. And he has videos on angelology and demonology, and he's Christian, but he's not like preachy about it. He's just literally like fanboying out about all the different power tiers of angels and shit,
Yeah,
and it's kind of
did.
cool. I actually really like those videos.
He did Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained, and those are great
Yeah, he did a
videos.
whole breakdown of all of Milton's work, that whole series, and it was really enlightening, actually.
Damn, I gotta watch. I haven't
You would like
watched
it.
those ones yet.
They're
I've
good.
watched a lot of his videos just now. I've seen the whole conspiracy iceberg, all 19 parts, I think.
Yeah,
You should
a
watch
lot of
his
his- a lot
Paradise
of
Lost
his-
and Paradise Regained videos. And Bancroft, I know
Paradise
you're
Goon.
you're a lit guy. You would like those videos.
His
You're a lit
main,
guy, dude.
his main bread and butter is
Oh,
tier list.
literature.
I know.
Read books. Have you heard about books?
I know. I was
Yo,
just
this guy's
making
lit.
funny. This guy's pretty lit, dude.
Now we
Oh my-
need an edit.
okay.
Now we
Oh,
need an edit of Bancroft with
Shut
a
up.
fucking
Took a little bit,
spliff in
maybe.
his mouth and shades
Little
on.
delay, little
hat.
wheel turning.
Go to bed, Vaughn. This is your
Alright.
bedtime.
Yep.
Vaughn,
Fuck
have
outta
you read
here.
The Crow? Vaughn,
Vaughn.
read The Crow.
Oh shit!
Oh no, you should. I was gonna be asleep when you brought me back.
All right, then,
Oh.
cool.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh, poor.
No. This is where he has to pretend to be asleep like he is right now, but for like ages because we don't bring it back in, and
He's
then we
gonna
wait for him.
actually fall
We wait for him
asleep.
to stop bothering, and then we bring it back in.
Or he's gonna actually be asleep.
Irene,
Yes.
have you seen The Crow?
No.
Oh, The Crow. What?
Should
That's a
watch
good movie. That's a good movie.
Is that another movie I should watch?
Yes.
Have you
It's
read
pretty.
it?
It's
Vaughn?
pretty. It's yeah. I haven't read the comic yet. No, but I've seen the movie.
All right. Yeah, the movie's good.
You guys want to like cry?
Phil Diaz, do you follow Bai Ling on Instagram? From the movie.
No, I don't
you,
think
you
so.
would like. You would like it.
Wait, is that the chick from The Crow?
Yeah,
No, why would I like that?
because you know.
What? 'Cause she's Asian?
No, because she has big tits, Phil.
What? There's no chance she has big breasts.
Yes, she does.
What, Asian and big breasts? These things don't merge in Phil's
Literally
mind. That's
impossible.
order and chaos, just like
Alright, Phil Diaz.
smashing into each
You're
other.
saying the chick from The Crow,
Yes.
she does not have big breasts.
Yes, she does.
Just
No,
watched that film.
No. He might mean it. He
Maybe
might
got
mean
a
in
boob
real life
job.
now.
No, she had them in the movie, dummy.
What?
You have different definitions of big
Yeah,
breasts.
you literally don't know what big breasts are then.
No.
Talk to Bobby. Bobby
No.
knows.
Hang
If
on.
they're not H cups, they're not big.
Oh my god.
Phil, hold on.
Also, I'm not into.
I just want to bring this full
Not
circle
into big
because when Harry launched this campaign on the first day, I brought it up on this show. So I just want to bring it up right now. He like smashed his goal, which was £40,000, and now he's like on his way to 50.
Hell
Just want to bring
dude. This looks awesome.
Looks badass. You guys might not have heard about it. I think Bancroft showed it on one of his like show everyone stuff show. He was like surprised by it. Angela showed it on her show. They talked about it. But yeah, it's check it out. Harry Partridge is a massive inspiration for me, and he's also making a comic.
Super cool. Love the caricaturiness to it, cartooniness.
Well, you know they were so these were and he has got episodes of animations that these characters are from, and then it's like they take forever. So it's like just maybe I could tell a bigger story by doing a comic in a shorter space of time. So yeah, check it out. Wanna shove it in your freaking faces again, everyone. Holy shit. Franco says this guy followed me on Twitter. That's awesome. Harry is the best, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
And if you like Harry, he was on Oni Plays recently. They did another Slightly Artistic, which is their like drawing show.
Oh, Slightly Artistic is so good.
Well, on Oni Plays, if you watch the latest Slightly Artistic, that's Harry and Chris.
I didn't know that. I was just watching before I got the link. I was watching Meat Canyon Hyper Wizard. I assume you like your Yeah, I was watching the one where the alternate ending of Toy Story 3 where Andy has a mental breakdown.
Mate, fucking speaking of Toy Story, before this show, I have this.
Nice.
And I was putting it on her ass, and I was like gonna wait until someone mentioned like, is that the Toy Story thing? But it's like so small.
That's kind of hard to see, but
yeah, you can't even see it if I'm in like wide mode.
What the fuck?
I thought that was regular mode.
This is shrunk down mode.
Yeah,
this is squished mode. This is fucking normal. But look, speaking of Toy Story 3, look, I got the creepy Woody figure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can't see him the same now that I know that Tom Hanks voices him and Tom Hanks is part of a satanic cult.
No!
Right, Narwhal.
He's banned from entering the U.S.
I ran away to a different country.
Wait, what?
Wait, Tom Hanks isn't American?
That's not true.
He collects typewriters. Tom Hanks is dead. He's actually a clone. That's replaced.
I'll believe that, maybe. Yeah, supposedly he's stuck in Greece. He can't enter the U.S. or he'll get arrested for being a pedo-Satanist.
What? Oh, I didn't know they actually persecuted those people in the States. I thought it was free fucking reign for pedos and weirdos.
Norman Rad Turbo 2 says EVS.
That's actually a good point. So it kind of brings up some skepticism.
There you go. Oh, all kinds of degenerates. No. I'm thumbnailing. I'm trying to get some progress on this stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, the 2 seconds you have to do any drawing.
Yeah, it's shit's killing me, man. I don't have. Oh, it's killing me. I have so little time right now.
Hold on, I'll make you big. I'm big.
Look how good Dan Dahl is. This.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, it looks just like.
Is that the doll?
That's the doll, bro. He is a doll. And this Lobo is a remark that he did on this for me. Crazy. The doll. Yeah, he sent me that from the auction. This little sketchbook. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I missed that there was an auction. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then there was another auction, and then there was 2 auctions on that day. Did you hear about this?
No.
I bought that on Red Valkyries. Pete Cimetti did an auction, and then
I keep missing Red Valkyries auctions. Like, I wish there was a way that I could find out about them when they were happening.
Well, if you follow Red Valkyrie, you'll.
No, but I do. I just don't check Twitter that much.
Yeah, to be fair, Ethan did announce his auction the morning of the day.
Wait, so Ethan had an auction, or Pete Cimetti had an auction?
Pete Cimetti.
So Pete had his auction. I guess he had been planning it for a while. I had heard about that one throughout the week. Dan was on that, and like Preston Acevedo and a bunch of other people. And then the morning of that auction, Ethan announced he was doing an auction.
Wait, so there were 3 fucking auctions all at once?
It was 2.
Oh.
Yeah, with Red Valkyrie's auctions, because they have a website, I always wish they would kind of like have a schedule up for when they're going to do theirs on their website, just so you could like go there and look at the time, because they have a website. And they have like a whole like roster, like multiple streams too. Like it would be a cool place to repository to have that information.
Oh my god.
It's okay, Irene.
We'll all
No,
be
it's
dead
not.
one day.
No, I'm annoyed because I'm already getting tired because I've been
1
trying
a.m.
to sleep a normal. Yeah, but I've been
Come on, late.
being forced to have a normal sleep schedule, and I've been having to go to bed by 12 so I can get up in time for work. And I was up till 3 yesterday because I was streaming, and I'm super tired because I didn't get
Speaking of having a normal sleep schedule and being able to go to sleep early tonight, because Alex VRB's got his meme out there already. And it's absolutely perfect timing because we have just hit 3 hours, but yeah. Okay. It is time to
Perfect.
decode the meme.
Yes. Did
Oh, and
Vaughn
it's-
just get in there?
Yeah, I'm always.
Slips in it at the end.
Yes.
As soon as
No, he
Vaughn
waited
came
for
in,
me to get in.
He was
Oh,
so
he's
excited that he could put Cloud
Wait.
Vaughn in an.
Is this gonna be
Oh, yeah.
every fucking? Did you see his meme last week?
Twink Vaughn.
Yeah, you say.
Swirly ones are it's multiple cardinal dicks. Oh my god! With little
Oh my
smiley
God!
faces. That's
the
great. Okay, so Phil is on top. He's on the truck, on the next big thing truck. There it is in the Ritter Run versus the Truck of Destiny. Who will win? Oh, you guys are. And the orange tries to sprinkle it a little racism to spice things up. Napoleon Bonaparte, of course, Napoleon had to be there. Narwhal is saying, you know what still vexes me? All the successful ideas sound dumb. And you're kind of right. And that kind of, I'm pretty sure Narwhal actually said that. What am I saying? Well, I should have gone with this Slinky Jake. Better luck in your next life.
It's all execution, baby.
This is terrible joke. I'm terrible.
I know. I like the carnal slinkies everywhere.
I love it.
No, I spent 2 weeks on that presentation. I spent 2 days on the presentation.
Monty's saying, oh gosh, gee golly, the one time I sided with Jake, I end up regretting it instantly.
Wait, we need
Did
some
you see his
Naruto run
meme
together.
of me, did you see his?
You are.
Oh gosh, gee golly.
Oh gosh, she golly. The one time
Does
I
he
started
stand there?
Jake, I had to
Wait,
regret
wait,
it
wait.
instantly.
Hold on, I want to appreciate that this is Vaughn with Cloud Strife hair, but Naruto legs. Like, this is mind fucking me. What the fuck is going on
I
here?
got the sword too. I got the Buster sword.
Oh my god.
What am I saying? Well, at least if I get isekai, I can try and bang one of each fantasy race. Yeah, I'll try my best. That's what Drake Bristol's fucking
Yeah.
book is. He gets isekai, but he can't fuck anyone because he's a hedgehog.
Yeah, and then your presentation is that it says Jake's super cool presentation.
Nice. I'm glad it was recognized as cool. You
It's
know
about
what?
to get smashed by a truck coon.
Well,
I
you
know.
know, Alex is just
Food.
being nice. I think.
And then
That's
He's,
great.
the
not,
other
he's about
quote,
to run it over with a giant truck.
Wait, look,
Oh,
there's
never
the
mind.
circle. There's the circle in the bottom and the center too.
yeah,
Gotta get
known
it
and
on.
unknown. But that's
We're
where we're
both
going to.
about-
We're going into the unknown.
No, you're
Yeah.
both about to get isekai by the Truck of Isekai.
Truck coon.
You're about to be sent into the world of chaos. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're gonna get hit by the truck and
Yeah.
typically get yes, the isekai truck. That's
Should
the
have gone
tool.
with the slinky, Jake.
There you go. The tool, the fucking threshold tool in an isekai is a
Brilliant.
truck. It's
Why
a
is the
fucking-
Brilliant. So
presentation
many ways.
slightly off center? It
just
really
to fuck
bothered
with
me.
you?
Oh,
It-
so yeah, that's so funny. And then my quote to
The
the other
Asian
thing I
woman
say.
driver running people over is very accurate.
You know what? You might actually survive because there's no way I could actually aim for you too.
Oh, that's true.
Hit you.
Yeah, I like your other quote, Noel.
Yeah, because I actually said that too. Why did I say that? He murdered a dude, but people love him. I was talking about the folk hero in
The UK
Britain or
Folk
whatever.
hero. Amazing. Thank you, Alex. So I
Oh,
like that I
Alex.
got Santa Claus buddy. A very buff Santa Claus. Thank you for that. Very accurate. Not this Santa Claus.
Yeah, you're pretty jacked.
This Santa Claus. Yeah, in real life too.
Tight.
Very realistic, yeah.
Holy crap-a-moly. Bobby, I always say Chrisophus. It is Chrisophus, right? Chris Office.
Yeah, everybody says
Bobby
Chris.
coming out of the Chris office for $4.99.
Now that's money.
He says, I conducted some research. I definitely wouldn't say she has big cans, but I wouldn't say that they're not small. They're that small either. Look like respectable C cups to me. And he is the boob professional. He's the authority on this kind of thing, I suppose. So
Yeah, not huge.
respectable C's, that's where you want to be.
But that's okay. Vaughn's young yet.
What are you talking about? They're
Young.
good.
Speaking
Catalog of
Vaughn
cans is
being
my
young.
Everyone
Uh,
has different preferences. It's okay.
I know, but right
Last
now-
week, Alex VRB was so he was so ready to make a meme for us. He
Yeah.
had all this energy to just when Vaughn streamed, he just could spill over and Vaughn could pick it up and make it all about him. But go on,
Oh
do you want to
yes,
explain?
capitalize on your failure. I was considering actually making this. I'm not even joking. I was considering making the stream Hyper Wizard exposed question mark. It's just, but I didn't feel like making the thumbnail. But so I just. But yeah, so
This would be the thumbnail.
something along these lines. So I was showing. I don't know why he showed off this art, but I guess I wasn't even Justice Cloud during the stream.
Is that Napoleon or someone or George
No,
Washington?
that's George. All right, I got it right here. Hold on. It's some
So is
Michael
George
Gordon.
Washington your channel's Napoleon?
No, I was just showing off. This is Michael Golden original art. I'm
Oh.
just showing it
Longer I
off.
look at Cloud with that poofy hair. It's
His
funnier.
proportions are so great.
Horrible.
And then
Oh
for
my
some,
God.
I forget why, but I guess in some context, Christian came up. So
Oh,
there's
I wonder
Sonic
why.
Sheen.
It's not like you have a Christian
literally the
hyperfix-
only thing you talk about.
It's not true.
I don't
He
know
just-
why.
No, but all right. So then also during the stream, I put my beard down and it started bubbling up, and I guess he used that as a joke.
He was chomping at the bit to create a meme, and you capitalized on that.
Listen,
your
he did
very
a
own
good
meme.
job.
He should have put all of us in graves or something.
Oh, I wish I was there. Why wasn't it about me?
Not me. Everyone. I referred
I'm
to
happy
the
I
group.
wasn't there.
Shut up. Bill.
Feels like I wish I wasn't here. Very, very good one.
Well, I didn't do
Congratulations.
anything.
I think this one's a little bit.
I agree it's better, but
We provided him with more content with which to riff off of. You see.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I love it. I love the meta of it. How you are about to be sent on an adventure in an alternate world, as in the afterlife. Bye,
Oh.
guys.
Thanks, Irene, for explaining that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
welcome.
grateful too.
hmm I mean, apparently nobody else got it, so you know.
I didn't get it until you pointed it out.
Really?
Who is Phil on? Is there a character that Phil is, or is it like?
He's some
Me.
anime weeaboo character.
Literally
Rainy,
me.
what is it?
It's literally just me, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the resident wee. Why are
What
you
I
asking-
look like every
What do you
day.
mean? Yeah, you are.
Well, Phil's go-to character to be put on is Spike Spiegel.
He's one of the the hairstyle
not
and the
him.
uniform.
Bill is
That's
nowhere
like-
near as cool as Spike Spiegel. That's ridiculous.
No,
No, I'm
That's
just
I don't know exactly what franchise is it from, but the archetype is like the high school delinquent character with like the 90s, 80s mullet and the.
It looks
you
like
know.
AI art to me, actually.
Maybe a JoJo
Well, yeah, it's
character.
all AI art. it's a collage of different AI art pieces.
I don't think that's Bebop.
No,
That's not-
I think it's
oh,
just an
that's
AI
Bebop.
character, but he might have typed in like character name and pose.
No,
I
see,
think
Alex
it's a
says right
JoJo
there-
character or something.
Look what Alex says right above that. He says that's just what Phil looks like when he stands on trucks.
Oh yeah, I've seen that at Tampa.
True.
So you jump into as soon as your feet touch the truck, you turn into like that Phil.
Yeah.
Redo and heal.
Redo. Oh my god. Redo
I
of
will
healer.
not redo, and I will not heal.
Heal.
Oh, I found those panels, Jake. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This is in my little manga version, but
Let's make Phil real big.
see, he's got the picture frame, and she's all like smashing these fucking mirrors, and then
Hold it still. Oh yeah.
he turns around and she sees herself, and then punches her through the frame.
Ooh. Oh,
So-
dear.
Very good film.
I don't know what ever happened to this artist.
I'm not gonna make a joke. I was gonna say, probably, if someone goes missing, they're probably in jail.
They're probably dead.
Oh, people die all the time, man. Can you imagine the constant escape of death?
How are we
Sounds
gonna
like-
get shot by the guy on the highway?
That photo looks so badass. Can you believe the cameraman must have been like, this is the moment, and he had his camera on the mode where you hold the button down and it continuously takes photos.
Yeah.
And he's like, please get one with the shell in it. Please get one with, like, he was hoping for that. He was hoping for that. He's like,
Yeah. It was
and then he's like
perfect, huh?
looking through him afterwards. Like, two people are dead over there, and he's looking through his thing. He's like, yes, I got it. The fucking, this is it. This is my career right here. And 2 people are dead.
What the fuck are you talking of? What?
Someone got. So there wasn't there some climate change?
Oh, I completely missed this news. Right.
Yeah, they got shot.
The funny thing is, everyone was like, talking about, I just saw the succulent Chinese meal guy in him. As soon as I saw that photo, my head says succulent Chinese meal. But like,
Oh, that's good.
so he's like shooting people and getting arrested, and like just imagine that guy saying, "What is the charge?" Like, you've just shot 2 people. He's like, "What is the charge?"
Yo, guys, I'm gonna go to bed.
Well,
Bye,
I think-
Phil.
Same.
My back
oh,
hurts.
I think
I'm
we're all
gonna go.
We're all
It's a really good show, though.
We hit 3 hours, guys. It's okay. We're all going.
Yeah.
Very
I'm
nice.
going first.
Yeah, I would love to hang out more. And we should. We should hang out this weekend.
You know, it was a
because
mash
it's a
of
long
this-
weekend.
Yeah.
I actually. get a
Oh,
break
this sounds
tomorrow.
like a good idea.
Maybe we can do a draw stream, Reenie, or something. Hang out.
Yeah.
Can I draw?
Now that I actually
No.
have a whole.
You
I
can
can draw.
copy.
Quit your job, Reenie. Just kidding.
I mean, do people want to commission me enough so I can?
Yeah,
I'll,
Quit your
I'll do
job,
it.
move to how's the living wages? What do they call those things?
What
In,
cost of living?
In Portland.
Portland.
Atlanta is honestly one of the most affordable cities
Really?
in America right now. Yeah, like still a major city, and my thing is I do need to be somewhat near a major airport. You know,
Yeah, they got one of those in
Yeah.
Portland, right?
I would love to if I could get more commissions. I'm about to open up commissions for next year and see, but yeah. I'm
I
just
can't wait until
I have a lot of doubts about my work situation. Sorry, what were you saying?
I said I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've been on that list for over
I'll
a
get
year.
you to. I'll get you to do
No,
Tifa
well-
Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. Very important.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get through the commissions that are already on my list, and that's why I said opening up commissions for next year, because then I'll start on any new ones in January.
Awesome.
There you
Well, we have hit. We're like at 3 hours 15 minutes. We made it past our typical time. You guys have all been wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the presentation. You audience, you are wonderful too. We've had like over 30 people sticking around this whole time, even though there's other streams going on. But yeah, thank you all so much. We'll see you guys in another stream. And next week, we're back to our typical schedule. So it's going to be on Phil's channel.
Yes. Be on my
yeah.
channel. Vote this Saturday for the Creative Block. And all of
Yep.
us.
Vote for Venus and
Let's
guys. And
try. We should totally stream before the vote and then end and then send everyone there. It's just
Absolutely.
That's actually pretty good marketing. That's a good idea.
great. Thanks for hanging around for like 2 seconds at the end, Vaughn.
Oh yeah, you're no problem.
So great to see you.
All right, bye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye. Alex.
Bro, we're still live. We're still live. Don't anyone say anything crazy.
Don't unmute yourself and talk whilst the outro is playing.
Just don't say anything crazy.
Just say like cool stuff.
Can we sing along to the outro or something stupid like that?
It's a cool show, and you'll watch every week. We talk about random shit, and we struggle to put a presentation together each week. When it's our turn to host, we want to shoot our fucking selves in the head. Unless we're sick and we postpone it.